Hey everybody,
What's up?
What's up?
it's another episode of Clear the Haze.
Clear the Haze.
What's good?
What's good?
Welcome.
We out here.
Welcome,
We out
welcome,
here.
welcome,
We so
welcome.
out here.
And yo, guess what?
What's up?
It's episode 2 of our Pop Culture Correspondent,
Boom, boom, pow.
Tobi, being with us.
That's
I'm
true.
back,
Overall, it's our
bitches.
episode 13.
We're splitting all of our episodes into subcategories. Smaller
man.
seasons.
Yeah.
That those seasons also become a series of more episodes that also become bigger, larger seasons.
Right, and in those seasons, we have episodes in smaller seasons that are pretty big seasons.
Exactly. And then once you take all of that together, you put it in a box set, and then you sell it to me for $400.
Yes, very well seasoned.
It's very well seasoned. Anyways, we're gonna be talking some pop culture today.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
I'm really
we are.
excited about.
Yeah, we are.
So, let's start off.
What's
I
up,
just
Tobi?
wanted
How
to
you
say, congratulations to Terrence LeVar Thornton, also known as Pusha T.
Okay.
Also known as Pusha T-E-A. Pusha sips tea.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
So
I was
clever.
like, all right.
It was a little, I got a little murky, but I
Pusha
made my way out.
T.
So, I mean, the beef is officially over.
It's over.
It's over.
He called it. Jay Prince was on his press tour
Wow.
calling it, but he said the feud is over, and I just want to congratulate him for knocking Drake off of his
Pedestal of...
rap battle
Flawlessness.
pedestal.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone loses once.
I think
Yeah.
so too. I think I feel like it's a humbling feeling just as much as it is, like, and apparently there people were like, oh, but Drake had something that was not only gonna end Pusha T's career but Kanye West's career. I'm like,
Not
well, then
really.
release it.
I know.
I'm like, if
release it,
you're
it doesn't
already
matter.
talking about
Exactly.
it, then release it, because you shouldn't bring it up unless you're gonna make me listen to it, because then it doesn't matter. You might as well, what you said doesn't matter because you didn't put anything out.
And
So.
Jay Prince saying that he had something that was going to crush him is really retarded, considering, excuse the vernacular, but
Yeah.
literally it's retarded because Jay Prince
just
was
doesn't
the
make
same
sense.
guy that told Drake not to put it out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to tell a guy not to put it out, don't tell everyone, it was fire though. Like, no,
That's
just put it out.
It doesn't count if we didn't hear it.
Right.
Simple as that.
Right.
Simple as that.
It doesn't count. Pixar didn't happen.
Well, I think Drake has a lot to take in now. Like, I feel like he what he should do is just focus it on new music. Don't worry about no beef, and just
What he
He's
should
dropping
do is
this.
just...
Sorry to interrupt you, but he's dropping this coming week, June 16th.
Oh, really?
Scorpion is coming.
All right, so I'm excited to see.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be
June
surprised.
16th?
I
June
believe
16th.
so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's very close.
I'll double check
So
that.
he's like,
but-
just drop the album.
Yeah, exactly. I guess never mind. I take back what I said. I don't think the beef is over.
No, Pusha T officially said the feud is over, but the album is coming regardless.
I'll wait until album release day when I listen to it, and maybe I hear something.
Drake needs to take care of his child.
Yo, his PR
That's what
people
one of the songs is gonna be called.
were working.
Drake needs to take care of his child.
I saw so many articles. Drake
my
spent
God.
Christmas with his baby. Drake
know.
flew his baby to him to see him, to meet him. Drake's baby's also October's very own.
Wow.
It's silly though, because I mean, no one else is getting commended for just seeing their kids. Who cares?
I know, right?
That's normal. You're supposed to see your kids every day.
If you want to focus on something real, focus on all the people who aren't focused on their kids, that don't really spend time with them, that don't give them any attention, it shouldn't. I always think that those types of scenarios shouldn't be those are like celebrity things, that like personal lives, when you start getting into deep of it, it's like, just leave those people alone. Like, do you really care that much that you're like, oh look, now he's spending time with his kid? It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yes.
were you gonna stop listening to his music if he didn't, or what? It's like, let the guy live his life. He's trying to figure out his own thing.
I
Stop
agree
trying to
that-
put in your 2 cents, because you don't know.
I agree.
Yeah. And I mean, Rosie Devine got the best end of the stick, honestly, though.
Yeah.
Sophie knows better, don't she? Well, okay. I didn't really want to focus on that for too long because
Of
it's
course.
dead and gone,
It's
just like
dead
the
and gone.
beef
Yeah.
and Drake's
Dead and
consistent
gone.
wins.
Yeah.
Yep.
But here's a little some kind of spicy.
Uh-oh.
Black Chyna. She was rolling around in these LA streets with a little bump at her. She was wearing a little skin tight dress, and there's something about it. There's a difference between a food baby and a baby bump.
Right. The baby bump is just like very visible and strong looking.
It looked like a kick you back.
Yeah. Very strong.
Yes. And so she's rolling around, and like rumor has it. Put that in. Rumor has it that
shouts out Adele.
Shouts out.
I'm just giving you that.
Gang.
Right?
She is pregnant, or might be allegedly pregnant, for her 18-year. Is he 18 or 19? Let's give him the benefit.
Let's say he's 19 now.
Let's say he still can't drink.
Either way, he's a teenager.
I guess.
I saw something that said that she wasn't pregnant.
But
oh, really?
I mean, time will tell. That's why I said allegedly.
I think time will tell.
Time will tell.
I don't know. Her goal? Like, that's how she makes her money.
I think she just wants attention. Nobody's been talking about Black Chyna till now.
Yeah, it's that's not the right way, sis. Like,
that's not the right way.
We thought you were gonna be the Kardashian takedown. Like,
that would have been tight.
I
would have been all for that.
For you, sis.
You know, when I met her, I kind of was like, she was bad. She was all about it. And I talked to her for a little bit, and I talked to her friend, and her friend was really fucked up, but like, she was cool. She was just like, you could tell there was someone there that actually wanted to help people.
Apparently, yeah. Everybody that's like people on Twitter that have actually like spent time with her or spent time in her presence, like, says that she's a good, sweet person, and like when her kids are around, like, she's an attentive mom. Yeah, so I mean, maybe that's just it. She just really wants to be a mom, and was like, I'm gonna get it any means necessary. And I mean, a lot of you hoes are pregnant for ain't shit niggas, so
for free.
For free. I mean, if he's her child support checks are pretty.
I mean,
well, if she's a career mom, then at least be a career mom that can make money off of her kids, like
Stormy Daniels. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I don't know if she has kids. I don't.
She does.
She does have kids.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very
I think
interesting.
maybe one. I don't know.
I wonder what her kids are thinking. You know, it's like, hey, that's your mom. It's like, yeah, I know.
yeah. I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to talk about it.
I don't want to go there.
It's like, hey, man, we're still sleeping over, right?
No.
It's like, no, I never let anybody sleep over, man.
No, never.
Those are just bad scenarios waiting to happen. Terrible.
But yeah, so I mean, I really hope that's not the case. I hope it was just, a food baby that was fighting back instead of a real
little
baby.
monster. Yeah.
But like, either way, kids are a blessing. So shout outs to you, girl. But like I said, we were all rooting for you.
I mean, it's a blatant cash grab, and you're taking advantage of dumb teenage boys that are new to the industry now. Like, come on, you're gonna take all this kid's money. He's not gonna have anything but a leech baby mama.
Wait, is the kid famous as well?
He's
Hardly.
famous adjacent. How about that?
He's close. He's close, but he's not quite there yet.
Okay. Yeah, he's known for. Okay, so I won't lie. I'm a fan of YB and Namur. Like, when I heard his first song,
The leader of the group is dope.
Yeah, he's really good.
And Almighty J is like his second in command.
Interesting.
But he's not as popping as
you can hear his lisp when he raps, which is not
weird. Like, what?
Nice. It's not enjoyable. But so, like, I mean, they had that like new song together, and I really wanted to like it because I wanted to support Black people or whatever. And YB and Namur's verse was really good, and then Almighty J came like literally mumble rapping in. I was just like, I can't. Nah. And I didn't save the song on Spotify.
Wait, I feel like once you listen to the song and you don't save it, it's just like
it's over.
It's over. I felt that way, like, even with good albums, when people are like, oh my god, that whole album is great. When people say that, I'm like, that's never true. The whole album being great is very rare for an artist.
It's super rare.
There's
only a handful of albums where the whole album is like great.
Exactly.
And even on those albums, there's a song that you might skip if you have a chance.
Of course. I think one of my favorite albums is Maroon 5 Overexposed. It was a good ass album. But like, there's still some songs that I'll be like, it's like I love Maroon 5,
but it's not every single song.
And then I'll listen to the album. I love going back to their old music. I I think it's interesting. What we were listening to the Read.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I love the Read. Shout out the Read.
Yeah, shout
Kid
out
Fury.
to Kid Fury. He said that was it him that he kept saying he might listen to old Kanye while he was in a different mindset, you know?
Yeah.
I thought about that too. I'm like, you have to think about it in that perspective of like these people change as well.
Yeah,
and so
that's
everybody
very, very
changes,
true.
you know? But it's kind of interesting how you see their journey through their music. And people sometimes will be like, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe you switched. Like you're a sellout. But it's like, I just wanted to try something different. You know, I didn't want to be stuck in just, I'm only a pop star. Because then that's just very limiting. And I feel like it's almost very depressive to just like label someone like you're just meant for this category. You can't touch anything else. And it's like, why are you putting me in that? Why are you putting me in this box? I don't like that, you know?
But it could be dangerous as well with like Kid Cudi when he first came out.
Yeah.
He was all depressed and borderline suicidal and stuff, but it was coming, and he was doing hella drugs, and it was coming out in his music, and it made the music great because you felt it, but at the same time it's like if you don't get better, you're gonna not live like the rest of these artists. And you're gonna stay stagnant, but that's like the least of your worries. If you stay in that depressed state too long and you don't improve and change, you're gonna not survive to make something new.
Exactly.
So that's for that reason I can appreciate the punk rock album that he dropped, and like the more experimental stuff, and the newer stuff, it sounds clearer. He sounds clearer, less slurred. It just has a better, cleaner vibe to it.
Like his mind state, literally.
Yeah, exactly. And it reflects.
Are you guys talking about his new album?
Kid Cudi. Well, we're talking about Kid Cudi's like,
have you heard his
journey?
His journey.
His
overall,
journey. I would say his new album, I like Fourth Dimension. Willie
and I tried to listen to it, but we listened to it like sporadically, and like every song I couldn't tell you what Fourth Dimension sounds like, but literally every song we were like, if I could just crop out Kanye's part.
I was okay. You know what's funny? I was saying the same thing to Cameron. We were coming back from Newport, and I was like, yo, let's listen to this for the first time, and we went in order, and every single time, like first like the songs weren't like Kanye West's album. He had intros that were just really, really popping.
Oh, sorry. Fourth Dimension is the one with Pusha T's verse.
I believe so.
Yes.
And it was just like
we heard that one.
I like, for me, it was like the intros to a song is what hooks you. Yeah. You know, that's the first thing you listen to. So you expect it to be like almost grandiose of like, okay, where is this going?
Like the most perfect intro is like Humble.
Yeah.
It's just in your face from the jump.
Yeah.
Like, bam,
and you're like, oh, what the? You're like, what's going on? You know? So it's very exciting. Yeah. But with this, I found myself like waiting for something to happen. And I was just kind of like, okay. But then every single time Kanye West got on, it was like distinct because you knew his voice, and it almost felt like his voice was almost elevated to sound louder than everybody
else. Yes.
And I was like,
that is so true.
And I was
voice
like,
is louder than everybody.
And he produced it.
And that was when I was really listening to it. I was like, it really sounds that way.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to like say anything, but it just feels that way when I hear the album.
Well, and it's when you're listening to Cudi, and it's like
it almost
it's like it's very calm. It's down here, and then Kanye get on the track, and I'm up here and everything.
And
blah
then,
blah
and
blah.
then suddenly it's like it overpowers these songs to the point where you almost it's almost not like Cudi wasn't even in the album.
Yeah, you took the vibe.
Exactly.
And exactly like you never. I feel like what should have happened was you should have just let Cudi do one album by himself. And
is there a Kid Cudi album coming? Or?
I don't think so. It's not slated.
Because I feel like then he would really just be like, look, this is what I want to do, man. Like you got great ideas, but like you already released your own album. I want to do my own thing. That's what he should have done.
In his defense, Kid Cudi released like a 19-track album last year. I just remembered.
Damn.
But the thing about that album was that it was Cudi and like a few features. I remember Andre 3000 like featured twice on it, and it goes through where not the depressive, but like the mellow, the chill, and it picks up, and then like it literally goes because it's like passion, pain, and demons, I believe.
Yeah.
So it was talking about like obviously his journey, and then coming coming out of rehab and feeling happier.
We saw that.
Yeah,
perform.
yeah. Oh my
How was
gosh,
it?
at Camp Flogno.
Oh my God, so
it was
good.
a spiritual experience,
So
high
good.
key.
Oh my goodness.
Because he was so happy, and the thing is, I had seen him.
Yeah.
I had seen him twice
Camp
that
Flogno.
year, but that second time at Camp Flogno was so much more different than the first time I saw him at Staples. I think it was like the BET Experience or whatever.
Were you getting paper?
What do you mean? Was I getting paper? Getting paper?
No, because you said you saw him at Staples.
Oh, I mean, we ha ha he he, but we know what I was talking about.
I was getting office supplies and whoa, Kid Cudi.
I thought you were saying, was I getting paid to go to these concerts? I was gonna say no, but I should be.
Yeah, that would be
hire
cool.
me.
That
I
would-
like to do that.
Yeah.
I would like to do that. Hire me to go to concerts and tell you about it.
Yeah.
That would be. I think.
tight.
I think that's one of the benefits. I like for like Instagram influencers. It's just like you get so much free shit.
Oh my god.
These girls. When I went to the Spider-Man Homecoming premiere, all these fucking Instagram stars. I was like, you guys are
Dude.
just here because
Yeah.
you're just gonna Instagram about it.
Can
Yeah.
I tell you something funny? Like one of the Instagram influencers I follow, they just went to her boo and like a bunch and some other people went to Ibiza. I think that's a proper-
Ibiza.
Yes, they went there, and it was like them, and it was literally just for a release of like a pair of sunglasses.
What?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
And
It
they
was
were
like a
flown there.
collab thing, and it was a collab influencer strip, and I was like, what? Yo, what? I can influence someone,
Dude,
please.
that's the part that I hate. These people who we call influencers have like their influence is so bad on these people.
I mean, no shame. She's got like a million followers.
That's what I'm
so-
saying. But like those people look up to this person and like
Yeah.
watch their life closely. I guess most of them,
Yeah,
not all of
you're
them,
right,
but,
you're
but there's a
right.
good amount that really invest in this. Like, oh wow, they just posted something that's so cool, and it's like
Yeah.
sometimes they use that power and they do like they spread such a dumb message. Sometimes
Yeah.
You're
And I'm
right.
like-
You're very.
I'm like,
Yes,
why is
Jules.
that? Like you have a.
I used to listen to her all the time.
Yeah.
And all day it was just her showing stuff that people sent her because she has such a huge following.
People would just watch.
But
Yeah.
apparently she's industry pussy. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Wow.
Allegedly.
What does it mean?
I can believe it. I mean, we already saw the sex
because she's
tape.
hot, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we did see the sex tape. She's hot. Like
Who?
she's yes, Jules.
ES Jewel.
That's her
That's-
Snapchat name.
That's her. No, that's her online name.
Oh, that's her
Twitter,
name,
everything.
period.
Oh,
yeah.
she just changed it to that. It's a
So
brand.
she's like
Yeah.
she's this white chick, but she says she's Italian because you know she got to add some flavor. But
Whatever.
she's basically
Yeah.
a white chick with a fat ass. Like she's
Yeah.
a white chick with like a black girl's body. So she's fine. I will
Yeah.
give her that. We saw her last year like in person.
Yeah,
I was
we saw her.
like, she is good looking.
Can I just time out real quick?
Yeah.
How cool is it that we are like constantly meeting these people?
Yeah, we're
You know,
every
like,
LA
episode.
is the
LA is the-
a
we saw
weird,
blah, blah, blah.
interesting
Or like remember
place.
when you were at USC and then the guy from Scandal rolls up and you're like, what the heck?
Oh my god! Can we
Yeah,
just
that was
talk? Can I just
crazy.
tell the story
Go for it,
because
go for it.
I'm a huge Scandal fan, and so I'm busy like chilling in class. Like I'm where I'm supposed to be. I'm in my lecture. I'm studying at school and whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then like, and it's one of those like classes that's like theory or urban theory or whatever. So it's like, okay, cool, we're chilling. And I look to my right and I see Tony Goldwyn, and he plays President Fitz on Scandal. He's outside my classroom door looking in, and like my friends know me because I mean I'm very loud, as you can tell, and so people know for the most part what shows I watch. And then someone is like, Tobi, look at the door, and I look at the door and it's I'm so sorry to say this, but it was motherfucking Tony Goldwyn, my president. President Fitz was looking into the classroom that I was in. Guys, when I tell you that, I was like I literally was like freaking out. And like people in the class were like, is Toby okay? And I'm like, am I seeing things? Like, what are the chances that President Fitz, Kerry Washington, Olivia Pope's side dick / main dick is outside my classroom right now? And
Yeah.
then it was like so crazy because then next thing I know, he walks into my classroom. And when I tell you that, I was just like, slowly pulls out Instagram. That's
crazy.
literally all I could do was like, oh my gosh, this guy's in my class right now. And then it turns out that my professor, because like the school I go to, USC, don't come find me. I mean, it's a big school, so you won't find me anyway. USC is like a hotspot for filming, so he was gonna be directing an episode, so they were location scouting, and they just so happened to scout the location that I was currently at, and I was fangirling from afar. Obviously, I didn't. And that's another weird thing about LA. It's like, do you go up to them? Do you say like, "Oh my God, I love you"? But it's like, well, you get that all the time.
How would you feel if a stranger came up to you and said, "Oh my God, I love you"?
I mean, depends where I am and what wig I'm wearing, and if I'm wearing a wig. Because sometimes I'm like, okay, cool, I love you too, and then runs away. Or sometimes like, oh fam, thanks for loving me and making me rich, man. You know, it can go both ways.
See, that's one of those things where it's like, when you become at such a high level, you're like, I make so much money off of people, and it's kind of fucked up. But at the same time, it's like, I worked hard for it. So it's like there's a middle ground, you know. But most people choose to just be like, I'm just gonna bask in the money.
Yeah, but Tony Golden looked really good for like Silver Fox kind of man. I just wanted to say that because I was like, wow, you're built, sir. But I didn't say that to his face because obviously I couldn't talk at that moment. But it was a very fun moment. That's cool. We were talking about, I don't know, we detoured, but anyway, talking about good albums and albums that we liked and didn't like. 10 years ago, the Carter 3 came out.
Oh wow,
do you remember that?
Yeah,
of course I do.
Of course.
I'm
like, yeah. We've all been listening to music since a very young age.
So if you have, I don't know, I'm not gonna insult anyone, but if you have lived under a rock and don't know what the Carter 3 is, it's like one of Lil Wayne's biggest albums. It was, I think, like Cameron said, probably most people's favorite Carter. Some people like Carter 1, some people like Carter 2, but most people like Carter 3 because that was like super mainstream and whatever. I just want to pull up the songs that were on it. Ooh, oh my God, it was so good. 3-Peat, Mr. Carter featuring Jay-Z, A Milli, Got Money, Comfortable, Dr. Carter, Phone Home, Tie My Hands, Mrs. Officer, when he literally hired Bobby V to make police siren sounds. And then anyway, there's other I'm just gonna shout out like the two. There's 16 tracks on this, and like Luigi mentioned earlier, like not every song is a hit, obviously, but Lollipop which is what everybody knows and recognizes. That's what really made the album that much more famous.
It was Lollipop, and then it's Mrs. Officer, and then it's a Lollipop, then it's a Millie, then it's Mrs. Officer, then it's well, it depends if you're more rap or if you're more pop. Because Mrs. Officer was like super, like for the pop people, they love that. If you're for rap, you're like, A Milli is my shit. A Milli all day. I mean, I know the lyrics to both, so what's up?
I mean, I know all the words to A Milli.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what you got.
Do you want me?
Yeah, no. Let's see what you got.
You want me to?
Yeah. Oh, don't cheat. Don't try and look them up.
I'm not gonna cheat. I was just looking. I was just looking at the screen.
Let's look it up. Listen, what's the name?
A Milli. Are you gonna look up the lyrics while I rap it?
To see if you actually get them.
You're right, and then I'll go and see if I'm right.
Okay, is this the first Clear the Haze challenge?
It is. First official Clear the Haze on air challenge.
Okay.
We got in one corner Tobi. Okay. And then in the other corner we got Rasclad. Willie Thomas. What's good? We in the building.
I don't think you get to name to yourself.
Can I at least pull out the instrumental? Can I pull out? So I just have to rap it off. Top?
You said you know it.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go. A millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair. My criteria compared to your career just isn't fair, cause I'm a venereal disease just like a menstrual bleed through the pencil and leak through my spirit men's minds.
I'm so sorry, girl. You done.
So sorry.
Okay, I need the beat going and like I need like more dranks in me.
All right, Willie, it's your turn. Willie, it's my turn. Do you know the lyrics?
Do I know the lyrics? Let's see. A millionaire, I'm a young money millionaire, tougher than Nigerian hair. Criteria compared to your career just isn't fair. I'm a venereal disease like a menstrual bleed on the sheet. Leak on the pen of the towel. I ain't lying, cause I ain't right shit, cause I ain't got time, cause my seconds minutes hours go to the almighty dollar and the almighty power of that chopper. Mother, brother, son, daughter, mother, by a Maserati, driven on the bridge, pussy popping to the chopper.
No. I mean, you beat me, but
you definitely got farther than Toby, but you were missing a lot of words. There was a lot of words missing. I'm looking at it right there. I was so gracious at first. I was like, all right, he missed my, but it's fine. And then I keep going, and I'm like, you're missing complete sentences.
And he was like, I'm
I know, man.
Sister, brother, son. I was like, what the heck is that? But yeah, that was a great album.
Okay.
Yeah,
a Millie challenge. We want to see your Millie challenges.
All right,
we should tag Claire the Haze Instagram.
A Millie challenge.
Can
you say all the lyrics? Can you rap the whole song?
But you have to be looking at the screen and no beat.
Yeah, and you can't look up the lyrics.
Yeah, because if you cheat, we'll know.
Yeah,
we will.
We'll see your eyes twitching, going left to right.
And what's worse than us knowing? You'll know too.
And God will know. And your grandma up in heaven.
Ooh. Do you want
Jesus
to disappoint
just watched you lie.
Golly. But also, good news, Lil Wayne is officially free from
he's
baby.
Free.
Nice.
Birdman, baby.
He's free. Imagine what's going to come now.
I'm
and
very
he
excited.
got 8 figures on top of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, you're like the new Tracy Morgan.
Basically.
That hater.
Yeah.
Tracy Morgan's doing good now.
Yeah, he's doing good. He was super hater.
What was this about him trying? Like he felt like Tiffany Haddish is like doing like she's the biggest star.
He was tired of everyone asking him about Tiffany Haddish when the interview was supposed to have been about him. And he's just being dramatic. He's probably early in the morning.
Carlton.
Oh my God.
He just wants to be heard, y'all.
He just wants to be heard, guys.
Yes.
Carlton's
in the building.
Carlton's in the building. Anyways.
He's looking at me like, what? What do you want?
Yeah, if you guys didn't catch our last Instagram post, it was Carlton
told y'all.
Yeah,
he said, see y'all in LA, LeBron.
We're calling it now. LeBron's coming to LA.
Yeah, he is.
Sweeped? That's embarrassing. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's a little embarrassing. Like, you got swept, man.
I mean, you got swept.
That's a life lesson. Like,
but
that's humbling.
it's no one's ever going to blame LeBron for that.
I don't think anyone, no. You know what?
What we will blame LeBron for is quitting with 4 minutes left in the game.
He did quit. He did quit. He was like, I'm done.
He was like, screw this.
And it's like, bro, you play until the last second.
The last second.
What did Coach Carter teach you?
Exactly. Come on. Don't be a pussy.
Bringing it Carter back.
I mean, I get that and I respect that, but like, imagine literally carrying these niggas. Like,
I know, right? And they literally suck so bad.
So bad. Like, literally, you're like, unless LeBron has the ball, it's probably not going to go in.
I mean, let's just run through the list of help that LeBron has. Let's start with George Hill. First of all, who?
Yeah, I know. That's the first time I was seeing him, and I'm like, I like dibble and dabble into sports.
Come on,
but
and he had like a little bit of a good run in other spots, but mainly who? Like, come on, George Hill. And then he missed every shot he took, but he took a lot of shots. And then he missed the free throw that could have won them the game. And then we don't even have to move on to the next guy I'm about to talk about, J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith.
Come
on.
Stop. I mean,
come on. Stop
we
smoking,
all love
man.
weed, but come on,
Stop
man.
Smoking, man.
He definitely looks like he's faded on court, bro.
High as hell on
He was
court.
like, fuck, I thought they said the time was up.
I
thought we were up, bro.
I thought we were up.
Oh, we're
it's
not
so
winning.
much pressure.
Oh, we're not winning.
It's so much
if they would have won
pressure.
game one, completely different.
Completely different. We'd still be watching basketball.
We'd still be watching basketball.
But you know, look, that fool sucks. He's stupid. He didn't even know anything. So that's him. That's him. And then we got. I mean, we can't hate on Jeff Green because he did his thing and he had open heart surgery. So you know, congratulations to you, man. You made it far. But I mean. Right? Kyle Korver, you missed every single shot you threw up, bro. And your brother died earlier in this season, and I'm sorry, bro. I'm sure it sucks, but
I'm so sorry, but like that got very dark very fast for me because I didn't know that. I did not know that.
It's true. His brother died at the beginning of the season.
That's sad.
And I read this long article. It was actually really good, and it was basically he was saying like he's really depressed a lot of the times during the games. And
I would be too if I lost my brother.
Running the motions and stuff, but
he plays for Cleveland.
Yeah, he plays for Cleveland.
Why didn't they just give him?
Did
he have time off?
No, not the brother played for. The brother didn't play for Cleveland.
No. I'm talking about the guy who the guy. Yeah.
No,
he didn't get time off.
I mean, I think he got like the day or the week.
How
off.
old was his brother? Do you know?
His brother was in college, I think, or like just graduated.
How did he die?
some random disease came out of nowhere and killed him. Yeah, like
that always freaks me out.
Yeah, like some unheard of shit.
Oh my gosh, I always used to read these freaking articles where it was like, this person was like 26 when they got this rare disease, and I'm like, I'm only 20.
I know, right?
And I have 6 years until I get a disease that I
don't
know.
even say that.
But it's just like, but like, imagine being that person who got that disease. It's
right?
Like,
well, they didn't see it coming, so
I feel like all those people were test subjects. I'm gonna just be completely honest. I think those people were just found out by someone and was like given a vaccine, and it just bloop. I mean, we just saw that picture.
We did.
Those kids were getting experimented on.
Also, I wanted to hear the rest of the team because there's a name I was waiting for you to mention.
Oh, and then of course we have our boy Tristan Thompson.
Dog! Fuck Tristan Thompson.
No.
You know what? You don't even.
Thompson.
I thought you said Thomas just now. I was like,
no, Tristan Thompson.
Fuck him. Fuck him.
Thomases are great.
Thomases are wonderful. Thompsons suck.
All the other Thompsons are cool except for Tristan.
Clay Thompson's cool.
That's so weird. That's so weird.
I like Clay Thompson.
But fuck you. I just wanted to say, I don't even really like Khloe Kardashian that much, but I just wanted to say, fuck you, Tristan Thompson. Because if you weren't 6'9", busy cheating all over the city, maybe you would have had time to practice and actually help LeBron.
Wow.
That's just what I have to say about sports.
I mean, he had a couple good moments.
He had some good moments, but he didn't even get playing time until the finals.
I think what's really sad is that people kept complaining about the fact that LeBron just kind of took over, right? That they were like, man, LeBron just takes over the team. He just hogs the ball. But he actually gave his team a chance, and he would pass it to them. We witnessed it. He started passing the ball, and for a second, everybody was into it. And then all of a sudden... his team just got lazy. Yeah. And it shows you why
Kevin
LeBron hogs.
And Kevin Love, he showed up a little bit. Yeah. That one day.
No. All I know is that I really do feel bad.
He would have like 30 assists if they would make their shots.
Yeah. They don't make shit.
He passed it to everybody and everyone missed. Even layups.
Yeah.
Missed.
Terrible layups. But Golden State was bringing in the defense.
Yeah. Golden State had defense, yes, but I mean, you can neutralize defense with good offense, and they just weren't making shots. So if you make it easy and you miss all your shots, all they have to do is score a little bit, and they'll win because you're not making anything.
That's true.
That's why Steph Curry and everyone can have 10 points, and then Kevin Durant can have 40 points, but they still win because... it's not balanced.
It's not balanced. You can't play
because LeBron had 40 points too, but all his teammates only had 2 to 5 points. So it's like, what can the guy do? Why stay in Cleveland with an owner you hate and he hates you? He's already basically called you everything short of a nigger, and
that's terrible.
I mean, you got your whole team who sucks so bad. They're not going to get any better. They have no projected cap space. They're going to be a dumpster fire for the foreseeable future.
It's fucking terrible.
It's terrible. It's Cleveland. It sucks there.
I think what's sad is that LeBron going there was really like, it did raise Cleveland's spirits. But then it's like the other players just for some reason stopped believing that they could win.
J.R. Smith literally said that, it's great playing with LeBron, but it's also so much pressure. It's like... what? Like, greatness should challenge you to be better, not be like,
it shouldn't intimidate you.
Hard.
The worst part is that J.R. Smith was stinking it up out there, and he makes $14.5 million a year because of LeBron James.
No.
Yeah.
The team did not want J.R. Smith. They wanted to trade him. They didn't want to pay him anything, and LeBron was like, no, I want you to pay him, and I want you to pay Tristan.
Why?
And he did it.
And look what happened, LeBron.
Look what happened,
LeBron.
That's why players play and coaches coach.
Yeah, don't get it. Don't meddle.
Owners own. And speaking of ownership, LeBron owns a whole bunch of stuff out here in LA. That's why he's coming to Los Angeles.
I feel like I hope he listens to this and then it's just like, these guys are right.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Say hi to Savannah and the kids.
I know, right? What's up, LeBron? Let me get one ticket to one game.
Also, speaking of getting played, Kim Kardashian, did you guys saw the Van Jones clip?
Oh my God, so good.
Van Jones helping Kim Kardashian realize that she got played.
She really got
by
played
white
hard.
people's president, Donald Trump.
Just watch the first 30 seconds.
I don't even. It was just,
and then just laugh at the other half.
She was like, I don't think that, and I like Kanye already validated him.
So for context, for those who don't know what we're talking about, reverse. So Kim Kardashian's been hanging out with Trump, and she's been getting stuff done.
Yeah, congrats for getting that's good. Alice.
You helped
Johnson,
that woman.
I think.
You helped that one woman, but upon further inspection, Van Jones is interviewing Kim Kardashian, and he basically tells her, like, you do know, like, he just used you, right? Like, he used you for validation to the public because you are a representative of the people.
She's the influencer's
You're the influencer, and you basically was like, hey, Trump did something for me, so he's a good guy.
Yeah, because he did it for you. He did it.
Right.
You can't be mad at someone who did something for you.
You can't.
You can't go over there and be like, fuck Trump. It's like, well, bitch, he just did something for you.
You
asked him for something
to him.
Yeah, because you asked for something. And that's what people say. It's like, don't ask people for things.
Yeah.
Because then other people who see it are going to say, oh, so there's something there.
Yeah. And there is something there.
The worst part is she tried to throw Kanye under the bus.
It's weird.
I just felt so bad.
What is Kanye? We're talking about you.
Yeah, I know. It's like, you went to Trump. You're the one that asked him. Yeah. Kanye West was nowhere near that.
Yeah.
He was just kind of doing his own thing. And then you're like, well, my husband opened the gate or whatever. Or it was, it's like, what? Excuse me. Yeah. It's like,
she was literally the pretty girl that went up to the boss's office to beg him for, whatever she wanted. And that's all Trump wants. Like, he's the ultimate people pleaser. But for him to respond back, he needs you to, grovel or be like, I need you, sir. Like, he has to feed the ego. And it's like, girl, you were like, I'm so anti-Trump. My husband's politics is not my business. And then you just went. And the thing is, everything that people are saying about her, and it's like, you can't come here and say, my husband isn't mentally ill. And then this guy says, oh, I'm bipolar. And then she's like, he. Like, you can't keep playing us like that. But
the crazy thing is, Kim Kardashian can get a meeting with the president of the United States.
Yeah, I know. Like, what was your? What have you done?
What's your security? I have like 17 seasons on E-Entertainment.
Excuse me. I have 105 million followers.
I know that spans ages 12 to 15. It's like like all these kids love the Kardashians, bro. It's
ultimate influencers, man.
It's weird.
I think it's just they're like an image of perfection, where what they're doing is, in like history, you'll see that like black culture or just even colored people, like people of colors culture has always been the cool thing. And for the most part, white people have not really know how to, like, jump in the double dutch. Like, how do we use, they found a way, because they took rock and roll and they tried to take country and all that jazz, and jazz too. But the Kardashians literally right in front of our face morphed into white passing black people. Like, they look, if you see her from afar, you're like, that body and that style is something that would have been more associated with a black person or a person of color, versus now. And now they're wearing it, and they're wearing us like skin, and now it seems cool, and now everyone is like, oh, they've done it, so we have permission to do it. And so I think that's where that weird influence thing. But I don't mind, because she and Kanye single-handedly brought biker shorts into fashion, and I truly appreciate that, because they're mad comfortable. And I am chilling in my biker shorts right now and saying, thank you, Kim and Kanye, for that, for being influencers and letting me be able to wear my biker shorts out of the house.
So there's some good and bad there.
Yeah, I will say, I will admit, like, they're the influencer's influence.
Yeah.
So guys, we went to go see Ocean's 8 other night.
We did go watch that.
We did.
What did you guys think? As people who haven't seen the other movies.
I guess it was good because it's a heist movie, and I feel like there's always categories of movies, and this is just like, this is the latest heist movie.
Sorry, quick question. Are we going to do spoilers?
No spoilers.
No, we're not. We're basically just going to touch on what it is.
Just like 2 days ago.
Yeah, it's too fresh for spoilers.
If we do drop anything, this is your spoiler alert.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Fast forward, like,
you take the risk.
6 minutes. just
Yeah.
like 6 straight minutes,
So-
and we'll be done.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna go there and we're gonna be chimpanzees, and it's
Right.
like what? But anyways, the movie was really good, in my opinion, because it just kind of like it was different. It was it was completely different than what had been done, and I always like that. I always like when movies do something different, because if you're gonna do a remake of something that I've already seen,
But
it's
you haven't
like,
seen the other ones.
No, I mean of just like
just heist movies,
like just of movies
Yeah.
of movies in general. If you're gonna do something similar to something that's already been done, just do it differently.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yes.
all I ask. Please don't give me the same fucking storyline with the same specific characters, just different names, and then it's like this is copy and paste here.
Right.
That's what Star Wars does, and it's just like people call it out now, and I love that, because even their own fan community keeps them in check. And I think that's so funny.
It's
Well,
necessary.
yeah, your fans are what made you, and because you're under new management, the fans feel entitled to be like, no,
exactly.
no,
Exactly.
new people, no, we're not gonna do this. We like this, so make sure it happens. And they're doing whatever they want still, but it won't go unheard that this sucks or this was awesome.
I mean, I think that's why it was so low. The fact that it was such a like they're saying it bombed, and it's just kind of
really?
like, yeah, they're saying it bombed because it's gonna lose money, and
Ooh.
it was very surprising.
That is surprising. They had a lot of excitement when it.
Well,
the
not
trailer
only
dropped.
that, their marketing was just everywhere. They really
Everywhere.
wanted people to watch this movie, and
Everywhere.
everybody was just kind of like, we're over it.
Yeah,
like,
already too much Star Wars.
Well, not only that, too much Disney,
Yeah.
all these Marvel movies, first of all, and they're so quick. You know,
Yeah,
it was
the
all these big
turnover,
blockbuster
like,
movies that everybody has to see because there's so much pressure around it. You know, like, oh, I want to know what it's about because someone's gonna be like, oh, did you watch Deadpool 2? Or it's like, did you watch this? It's like,
Right. But
I want to
Ocean's
be
8,
able to say yes.
Ocean's 8 was tight.
Yeah, it was
It
interesting.
was. I love it. I tweeted. Sorry.
No, sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just saying. I tweeted that like all that bad bitchery, man. That was so good for the soul.
Yeah.
Just had to say that.
Well, we're not women, so we don't relate. But it was cool.
It was cool.
I mean, I liked. I just like the fact that. So typically, there's one objective in a heist movie, and that objective has to be completed, and that's your movie.
Mm-hmm.
But in this one, it was like there's an objective, and we're following this objective for so long. But once we get to that objective, it's something else.
Yeah, the ultimate gag is what
Yeah.
I always, because I was describing it to people like it's good, but then the ultimate gag, it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's like the key to robbery is misdirection and distraction,
Like a magician.
And that's what this movie was to the viewer, because it was the same thing.
You're also distracted, like you're like, oh, it's all this pretty things.
Yeah, exactly.
And they robbed the Met, which is so super dope.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
tight. Like, what is there to rob?
And they're right. The crazy thing is, it's like they're right. They're like, it's the hottest party in all of the United States. And if you get a ticket invite, it's like, you're somebody.
A lot of
You
people
know?
don't even get like
Fuck.
ticket invites. They get invited via a designer because like Cardi B, for example, she got invited. I just realized we're talking the second time I'm coming back. We're talking about the Met Gala again. But anyway, but like Cardi B this year, she was invited by Jeremy Scott of Moscato. No,
Machino or
I'm
something?
drinking Moscato. Machino, my bad.
Yeah.
She was invited by him, and so that's why she was there. So that's literally how hot of a ticket it is. Like, just because you're the most popping like female rapper right now doesn't even guarantee you a ticket directly to you. Plus, it's like $30K a plate. So
It's expensive.
and there
It
was even
is.
like cameos of like Kim Kardashian and her sisters because it felt more realistic seeing the Kardashians there.
Or seeing somebody.
Seeing Anna Wintour in the movie.
It's funny because you think
Yeah.
I thought about all those things while I was watching it. I was like, you think they actually like how did that work? The filming work? Were they like, hey, we're gonna get like it's just literally a 5-second shot.
Yeah.
Just while you're here, can we do it? Do you mind?
Yeah.
And then they're like, sure. 45,000.
Yeah, I know. Right?
Why so specific of a number? Oh, it's just because that's how much I need to buy this dress afterwards. It's like,
Yeah,
well, all right, fuck you, Kim.
Yeah, it's really good. You should definitely get out and see it. Add to the numbers if you feel, because I've seen the other movies.
Well, it was the top of the box office this week.
Oh, that's so good to
Nice,
hear.
nice.
I was hoping that people wouldn't be like, oh, Ocean's 8.
'Cause
I've
our
already
movie
seen
theater
the
wasn't
other
that packed.
3. Sorry?
No, our movie theater wasn't.
Oh yeah, no, it wasn't, because we went to go see it opening night, right? But maybe the night before, that Thursday night might have been.
Yeah.
That one might have been the one that was packed.
And we went kind of late too.
We did.
Yeah.
We went very late.
We went for almost the 11 o'clock showing.
I think so.
Right.
Yeah, it's very good. It's references the old ones in a good way, where like pays homage, and it's like, okay, I see how this one connects into the puzzle that is. Like, we don't need to see we didn't see George Clooney, so don't expect him. We didn't see Brad Pitt, we didn't see Matt Damon. Don't expect none of them, because it's not about them. But you know who we did see in that bombing red dress? Rihanna. Just a goddess. Her presence, every time she came on the screen, I was just smiling at her, like she could see me smiling at her. But like, all in all, it's a really good movie, and it's a really good pickup from the other movies also, because the other movies have that like continuation where it's like, kind of, let's pick up 10 years after we left off, and let's pick up. So that was a good difference. It was a good way to bring in all the, because I was wondering how they're going to bring in all these people, but it was really, really well done. And everybody played their part, and it just showed that, teamwork makes the dream work.
And I feel like that's why we kind of think it paced a little slowly, because they did their due diligence with explaining how everyone fits into this group. Because there's so many women that you need to know some backstory in order to be able to understand why they're doing this.
Yes.
All right, guys. So on the count of 3, we are all going to shout out 1 through 10 our rating for the movie. Ready?
All right.
1, 2, 3, 8.
9.
7.
Oh my gosh.
7, 9, 8.
I'm stingy with the ratings.
He's
we all
so
know
stingy.
I wanted to be
gosh.
nice, because I was
that.
like,
I'm stingy.
it was
the
an
bonus
all-female
point
cast,
is
so I know
Rihanna.
that they really want to like make it interesting, and I
Yeah.
think they did. I think they definitely did.
It was a
something
very
different.
like
It was,
even
and it was good
yeah.
because it wasn't too boring. It was like they didn't really want to jump too much into the logistics, but each person had their own backstory, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah.
And Anne Hathaway always just looks bomb. So.
She
Anne
looked
Hathaway
amazing.
is delicious.
Oh,
I don't
my
know.
goodness.
She said, I saw her like a little clip
She's
when
like
she was
the
talking
same.
to Ellen, and she was saying that when they just started filming, she had just had a kid, and she was so nervous, and she had like put on her good jeans and was like, I'm gonna be confident. And sis, you looked amazing.
You look delish.
You look like a whole schmeal.
You look like Devil Wears Prada. Anne
She
Hathaway.
she looked
always
better.
looks
She
good.
looked
She looked way better.
She
but
looked
like
way
she's,
better.
She's just consistently been like really, really beautiful.
It was so good to see. Like, I was like watching the screen, like, oh my god, I haven't seen Anne Hathaway
me neither.
act in so long. Like,
Well,
I'm so glad you're back.
I think the last time I saw her was Dark Knight Rises. I don't know.
I didn't even watch
I don't know
that.
if she did
been a
anything
long
else. I
time.
think it's been a while since
It's been
she.
a
Yeah.
while.
Well, she was having a kid, so it's like
and
she probably took a
sadly,
break. She
Her
was like,
fiance was like arrested for like some white collar rich nigga like crime.
what?
Oh,
Yeah.
laundering?
Probably he's French, I
What?
believe.
The French are always
And-
up to no good.
And look, so I'm gonna read out my phone number. No, I'm just kidding.
But anyway, like she looked everybody looked good, but special shout out to you. And she was saying that when she walked on, like all the girls were like, damn, you look good. Like Sandra Bullock was like, you look good, mama. And like Rihanna was like, damn girl, you got ass. And Anna was like, Rihanna told me I got ass. And I was so happy.
Wow.
And I liked it, like their chemistry on screen was actually like reminiscent of what was actually happening, behind the scenes.
Right.
And like
Wasn't
everybody.
no Sex in the City stuff.
What was going on
Yes.
with Sex and the City?
Okay, well, also, it's crazy that you bring that up because it's been 20 years of Sex in the City.
What does that mean?
You know the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
like,
been 20 years since it came out. So this year is the 20th year anniversary of it. So that's why it's like people have been talking about it more. But what he's saying was how Sarah Jessica Parker was like, they always try to make us like, they almost like force fed it down our throats for us to like her and for her to be the Beyonce of the group.
Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah,
But
Carrie.
everyone really thought Kim Cattrall was the bomb.
Yes.
And
She-
Kim Cattrall was like, Sarah Jessica Parker kind of sucks as a person, and she always pretends to be like a goody, and everyone's like, SJP. But the reality of it is, she kind of sucks.
That's so true.
And then
Oh my
like,
God.
and like Sarah Jessica Parker was like in public acting like they were all tight and stuff, and Kim Cattrall was like, nah,
You fake bitch.
Yeah.
She really like said, I think she actually said like, you fake bitch, or like, don't
Yeah,
be
like,
wishing me happy birthday.
exactly.
Like you don't like, she was like, I think
Like, we're not friends.
That's what she said. We're not friends. And there was a whole, like, the whole reason that there's never going to be a Sex and the City 3 or whatever is because of the fact that, like, at this point, like, okay, honestly, Sam was more successful, had better fashion. Heike had the better life because she was doing whatever the fuck she wanted, and she was like, nothing was stopping her from doing what she wanted, and that was amazing. The whole series versus Carrie, who was like, oh, I want love, and Heike, I mean, yes, she had her good parts, but like when something is force fed down your throat, you tend not to like it as much.
Right.
And I was like looking at all the tweets on Twitter. Where else would I be? I mean, tweets are on Instagram now. There's whole shade rooms. Like, journalism is from Twitter anyway. That was high key shade to the shade room. But I mean, I shout outs. I still follow them or whatever.
Yeah, of course.
But everybody's tweets was basically agreeing that, like, because I think also they're rerunning. I think E Entertainment is doing reruns of Sex and the City. But like, I had watched it when I was like younger with my mom. I mean, it was cool, but then I rewatched it like in a couple years ago from season 1 to I think it was like season 3 or 4. It didn't even last that long in seasons because of the fact that SJP was getting paid so much more than everybody else.
That's messed up.
But I watched it, so it's like it's still recently in my mind, and like watching it being like a semi-adult, like relating to Carrie, but being like, I kind of want to know what Samantha's doing right now, you know? And like, why is so much screen time dedicated to this whiny bitch? No offense.
Did you guys hear about the 9-year-old girl placed into rehab for her Fortnite addiction?
Yeah, I was literally going to say that next.
10 hours straight without moving. And she peed herself. That's fucking crazy. That's a long time to just be sitting somewhere.
Somebody slapped this bitch.
Her mom.
I mean, she's in rehab, so it's like... What are your parents doing that they can afford rehab for you?
Well, why do you even need to go to rehab?
I feel like
just take the PlayStation away.
Your parents are just like, we don't know what to do. And
I know, like, right? Well, very irresponsible.
How about not have kids for starters? Because you are clearly failing.
I mean, okay, the kids are here. Now you can do what my mom did, is take my phone, take my electronics. If she could, she'd probably disconnect the electricity to my room. Like,
but the problem is she's only 9. So how do you go 10 straight hours without engaging with your 9-year-old?
Yeah. So it's very young age.
Where are you? True. And where's your kid?
Well, I was at this store. Where was it? Oh, we were at I think it was it was a mall. It was a brand. It was some New York jeans or something like that. But there was this mom and there was this little girl, and the mom was trying to hold her little daughter's hand, and the daughter goes, "No, I don't want to hold your hand. I want to touch daddy's hand. I want to hold daddy's hand. Where's daddy?" And she was like a 4-year-old girl. And the mom just grabs her phone and then just puts a video and goes, "Here, just watch this." Whoa. And then the little girl just stood there and was like just mesmerized with the screen. And I was like, that's
what they're doing.
That's
how
the moment.
It happens.
That's the moment your child no longer, whatever. It's just, they're just focused on the screen now.
Yeah, it's a good pacifier.
And it was like very like sad to see. Yeah. You know? And I was like, dude, I would never want to do that to my kids. I'd be like, what's wrong? Why do you, what's going on? Like, why do you want to just hold daddy's hand? Do you have a problem with me? Let's talk it out.
You can catch these hands.
Right.
I'm like,
do you like food?
Yeah. You like food? You're never going to eat
shelter?
again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like seeing kids with the monkey backpack and the leash on. Like, that's what is that? Like, I didn't need a leash when I was a kid. My leash was invisible.
It was your mom's eyes.
Yeah.
She looked at you and you stopped.
And I was like, I don't think I should be this far. Getting a little far from shore here.
I remember, you know what's funny? You know what I think is really funny? Getting lost. I used to get lost in stores a lot. And I would just be like, I don't know what to do now. It was just like, fuck. Where do I go? I was like a kid. I remember this one time, I think I was like 3. I got lost in a Walmart and I just was like panicking. I was like, where do I go from here? I wasn't even tall enough to like, I was still a kid, you know. You're like you haven't quite hit that peak of height, but it was weird.
Everyone's been lost at one point.
I think so too.
The weird part is just realizing that, wow, I rely on this person way too much.
I gotta be my own damn person.
I know, like that was the moment.
But then you're 3, so
I know you're 3, so you're like, how do I get away from this?
Independence. How do I find her? But Fortnite, man. I mean, I just started playing Fortnite, and I've been watching you guys play for a while. And like, I be playing in my head, and now I'm playing Fortnite. I just haven't killed anyone yet, but I'm coming.
You're almost there.
I've like made like. I think my highest placing was like 13th, but like most of the time I just hide for a while, find guns, hide, and like, you know, I had a realization, and I had this in front of you, Willie, where I was like, I need a gun to feel safe, and then I was like, oh, this is how Republicans feel. I get it. I get it. I you know, gun rights, I totally understand. We just need to figure out who gets the guns. Don't have the guns. It's just who gets the guns, you know?
I think that's very spot on, because people like to talk about, hey, can we put more background checks, or can we make things a little harder for these people? And it's like, yes, that would be amazing, but then nobody wants to do it. It's just all talk, and that would be a great idea, and that would also be a great, and let's try this. Maybe we'll vote on it, and it never happens, and it's just kind of like repeat, rinse, and keep going.
The biggest issue is that all this talk of gun reform doesn't change anything for people that really want to get their hands on guns and do bad shit. Because those people aren't buying legal guns anyway. Those people are going in the alley and buying something off Fred, the guy with the trench coat, that has a whole bunch of AKs under there.
Exactly, because a gun is a gun.
A gun is a gun. It's gonna fire regardless.
If you can hold it up to you and say, okay, is it real? It's like, really? You have to ask that question? It's like, put a bullet in it and shoot. It's like, that's how you know. You can't fake. You can't really sell a fake gun. People know.
You can 3D print one.
But that shit looking, what? That you can tell when you're holding 3D print.
It works.
No, my friend Malachi made a 3D printed gun. He has his own thing.
I've 3D printed before, and I know how the process. All you have to do is change the density of
maybe the
how
material
the material like weaves, and it actually melts into like flat material. It's just like a thing of like pixels type of situation.
You can look it up online. There's literally a video of this guy just 3D printing this gun and testing it out at the range, and it fires and everything. Like
what?
Yeah, because you just have to print the parts.
Well, that's true, because a
like
gun
Legos.
At the end of the day is just like you just need the material.
Build it together.
It's like literally if you. It's like building a computer. It's the same. It's just a bunch of parts, 8 parts. Put those 8 components together, and then you're good. Same thing with the gun. Put those parts together and add a firing pin, and you're good.
Did you ever play Legos as a kid? Like, did you ever play with Legos?
A little bit. I wasn't really into toys. I was always into like electronics, video games, and stuff.
Yeah,
I thought toys were for stupid kids.
Really? Wow.
Sorry. I had my Barbies. I stole my brother's like GI Joes to hang out with my Barbies. I had Legos.
Toys are dope.
That wasn't. I mean, I did like Hot Wheels.
Yeah, I loved Hot Wheels.
I loved the hell out of some Hot Wheels.
Dude,
every boy loved Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
In San Antonio, I think I have like 300 cars.
Oh damn!
Whoa,
yeah. If not more.
Do you have the track with the booster? That,
I have this track that races 4 cars at the same time. Whoa. And it's fucking awesome.
Dude,
and it's really fun.
That was one of my. I like Hot Wheels so much that when I was in college, I made a project in 3D design that was based upon the color wheel. And I sent all these cars around this Hot Wheel track that shoot through this little motor thing that keeps them spinning.
Yeah.
And they go nonstop. But each car was hand painted a different color on the color wheel, and I put them in order. So when you shot them through, you just saw the color wheel spinning nonstop.
Whoa.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it was tight. I got an A.
You deserve an A.
I hate those moments when you present something that's way more worthy than just an A, and you're like, this shit is revolutionary, motherfucker.
Know, right? Like, do not.
I need you to tell other people about this, because this. I used to write some papers, and I would be like, this is actually really, really good. And then they would tell me, they're like, this is worth the read. Yeah. And I'm like, what can I do about that? I'm not gonna go to a publisher and be like, here you go.
Read my shit.
My English teacher told me it was good. It's like, it's not gonna happen.
But it's also the flip of that. Like, I did this dope ass project for Dane Cook when he was still hot, and
really,
it was like monochromatic. Actually, yeah, it was monochromatic, but it was based off of like a different color, just different shades of that color. But this teacher ended up giving me a a B- on it or some stupid shit like that, and it was perfect. It was like an A, easy A. I can't even draw, and it was perfect.
I remember. I think it was my freshman year in high school. I had a late assignment, and my school's policy was like super intense on late work, which I hated because if you give me like 6 items to do in one night, I'm gonna do like 3. And that's a stretch. I might do them during the class before. I did so much homework, like the class before. It was nuts. But I remember our teacher like would do his numbers like a specific way. So I just like put a piece of paper over it and I just traced the number and I gave myself an 86. And it was late. And then I went up to him and I was like, "You gave me an 86 the first day." And he was like, "Did I?" And I was like, "Look at it, it's yours." And then he looked at it, and then he looked at me. And then he looked at it again, and then he pulled out another one, looked at that one, and then looked at me again, and then goes, "Okay." And I was like, that was very, very complicated, but I'm glad you believed it.
Yeah, it worked.
Because I'm like, fuck.
Worked out.
It did. And I hated that class. It was terrible.
Yeah, most classes suck. Tobi and I saw some straight up bullshit earlier today.
What happened?
Some lab scientist was trying to make bread made out of cockroaches.
What? And she said it tasted like nuts, like cashews and peanuts.
No,
that's what the chick was trying to tell us. And I'm like,
no,
not buying it.
She literally took a bunch of lab-grown cockroaches, grinded them up into powder, poured the cockroach powder into the bread dough, mixed it up, and then baked it, and then sliced it up and ate it, and was like, it tastes nutty. But it doesn't change the taste of bread. And I'm like, no, bread doesn't taste nutty.
Yeah, unless you want nuts. You can get bread with nuts, but that's not, I don't like that.
Yeah, like, come on. What is that? That's disgusting.
Made out of cockroaches? Excuse me.
Cockroaches.
If I see a cockroach, I'm done.
I know. Like, that literally, if I see a cockroach,
that's a deal breaker for me.
I can't eat for like 3 days.
They're so fucking disgusting,
it's
man.
It's nasty, dude. So if I can't eat upon seeing one,
there's a cockroach.
I can't eat cockroach powder.
There's a cockroach somewhere that's just listening to us hate on cockroaches.
I know, right?
Self-esteem issues, like, man, I should just kill myself.
Yeah.
Chops off his head, still alive.
I know, still alive for 7 days.
Dude, cockroaches are so weird.
They're gross,
That's the part. And then they can fly sometimes.
They can fly.
When they fly, I leave.
They're full of protein. But
really?
That's what the girl said.
Yeah, they're. They try to use the reasoning that they have less waste compared to cows, and it's like, well, no shit. Cows are
so
huge,
fucking small.
Yeah, like that's so stupid. But
I know that's a stupid comparison. It's like, yeah, look at its fucking size.
I know,
of course, it's gonna have less waste.
Duh, I'd be concerned about a
compare
roach.
me to a horse. There's gonna be less waste.
Yeah, like, come on, I don't poop like a horse. Not even close.
I don't think if a human is constantly doing that, that's a problem.
That's a problem. That's a big problem. But they're very clean.
Talk to your doctor.
Very clean. So what's the grossest thing you guys have seen inside of a restaurant?
In a restaurant, I would say we once ate at this restaurant when we were kids, and this girl, it was like, I think it was a Mexican plate. And it was like enchiladas, and they kind of had flamed the cheese to where it looks different, like yellow and like kind of burnt red.
Oh, nice.
And she was munching down on this. Yeah. And then suddenly, as she was doing it, she's like, "Oh my god, there was something crunchy in there."
Oh man!
And it was literally like her whole plate was covered in roaches.
That's nasty.
Like not one, but like 12.
That's nasty.
And she was just, nah. Dude, that place got shut down.
Ugh.
They got shut down.
That's
that shit was
nasty.
and the crazy thing is, they like convinced her. They were like, "We'll give you gift cards," and she was like, "Okay."
What? I'm never coming back.
I know.
I'm trying not to burn this bitch down. If
I ever, that's one of the reasons why I always like look at my food before I put it in my mouth, because I'm like, I just want to make sure. Because sometimes even when I go to the burrito truck, sometimes I'll get something crunchy in my mouth, and I'm like, oh my god.
I know. Like,
and then it's
please,
just like
God.
burnt. It's just like very burnt something, but it
Yeah.
just. Sometimes I'm like, oh, what if something fell in there? And I just get paranoid. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm like, should I keep eating
I
this?
just spit the whole glob out.
I did too. I did too.
And
I'm like,
investigate.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta make sure before I swallow this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
No.
I think for me the like grossest thing was that time where we were driving in downtown and I kind of wanted to get Shake Shack.
It was so good until that moment.
We're
What
like,
happened?
oh, there's a Shake Shack in downtown LA. Oh, we're
Oh
gonna.
my God, I love
and
Shake
then we
Shack.
see this big ass rat.
Oh my God, he was like the size of Carlton. He was massive.
Because we could see the rat from the other side of the street, and we see this rat, and like
Radioactive
it
rat.
runs to the door, and it's literally waiting for someone to open the door, and I was like,
Oh,
nope,
God.
nope, and I haven't had Shake Shack since.
And it's
I mean, I
such a
considered
pity
having
because I
it
love
then.
Shake Shack. It's so damn good.
It's
They-
so good.
They do the
but-
Hawaiian bun burger,
Yeah,
and you're
like-
like,
But there's
Hawaiian.
no reason why one meal should be $20.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're
just
that
go
for
to
fries and
Chick-fil-A.
drink.
Expensive.
It's almost like Five Guys. Five Guys likes to. I hate when places charge separately for burger and fries and drink because I'm like,
Yeah.
just combo this bitch. That's what you
Yeah.
were made for.
That's what you were made.
Well, You're the burger meal.
you
You're a
can
combo
charge
meal,
more
like-
a la carte.
Exactly. I hate a la carte.
That's
It's
so true.
it's so annoying. Hey, rats and mice. We saw a mouse. We saw a mouse at Sonic last time we were at Sonic,
Ew.
and it was a
Ew.
small one. It was like the tail of Despero. It was
So
like a
you know that
mini
there's
guy.
more in there because that's the baby.
Yeah, I know.
The
That's what I was
mama's
thinking. I was like,
somewhere.
if it's that
Ugh.
small, it looks like it was just brand new.
Yeah.
And it was a
Ugh.
very like nasty part of it.
G and I saw a bunch of roaches in Subway in NoHo one time.
Ugh.
It was disgusting. Why we didn't just leave, I don't know.
They
But-
still got the cookies.
You know what I think is really
But-
cool though? Raccoons.
Oh yeah, raccoons are chill.
They're fucking awesome.
That sucked. Also, one time, remember I was showing you, I gave you the tour of my parents' hometown earlier on Google Maps. But,
Yeah.
Really?
yeah, but there's this little restaurant there called J&J's fried chicken and fish and whatever.
Yeah.
But literally, we're in there and the guy's like cooking. He drops the spatula on the floor. This dirty, grimy
No.
ass floor. Drops it. Ding, ding, ding. Picks it up. There's literally like 20 people in the restaurant waiting for stuff. And my dad and I are like just standing there waiting. And he drops it, picks it up, puts it back, starts flipping stuff on the skillet again.
No.
I'm like, I look at my dad. He's like, "Are you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, he really did." He was like, "Let's get out of here." I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
That's what I was hoping.
Good looking
the
out,
story
Willie.
ended.
I know, right?
That's
Like,
how I hoped it ended.
And we haven't been back since.
Dude, I aside from restaurants, like, have you ever been to like a hotel or like a motel that's just like super dirty? Like,
Thank God I have
Oh,
never
yeah, I
experienced
have.
you've never
one
experienced
time.
that? We were on our way to New York. Me and my two cousins, and we were just like, we were road tripping, and we were like on a budget. Like, it was like a steep budget of like, we got to get to New York, and this is how much money we we allowed to spend. And it was like, we really didn't have enough, but we just kind of went. Dude, we were saving money because there was this hotel. It was like $106, right? Regular. It was like a Holiday Inn, so it was nice. But we were like, we can do $106, or there's another one that's like 32. So they wanted to do 32, and I was like, I don't mind splitting it, you know. Dude, we get to this hotel, we unpack everything because we think about we're road tripping, so we're taking a bunch of shit. They got a truck. We unpack everything and take it into the room. And as soon as I get into the room, my cousin Andres is like, I gotta use the restroom. So he goes into the restroom, and I'm just like looking around, like just for anything that stands out. And I look down, and there's like a dead roach. First thing I see, and I'm like,
Nah.
and I'm like, dead roach isn't a good sign, you know? It's like, it's not alive, it's dead. So it just means it's just been there for a long time.
It's been there for a long time, which means no one's.
Which
cleaned
means
this
no one's been in there for a long time. And this girl, my cousin, my other cousin who was there, he goes, that's not that bad. And then I go, all right, you know.
Yeah,
and
because you don't want to be the complainer.
because I didn't want to be the complainer, you know. But I was like, this is gonna get
Bad
worse.
start,
Like
yeah.
and we had already brought up all this shit. We had to go upstairs with this big ass luggage with all this cooler of food. It was so many things, and then he goes and like moves his pillow to to go just to lay down, and he moves the blanket, and 2 cockroaches just on the bed just move, and they were just roaming his bed, and they go underneath it, and he goes, I'm done, I can't do it. He goes, that's where I lay, that's where I put my head. And I was like, now you finally see it. and so we were like chilling because our other cousin's in the restroom, and we're like sitting there, and I was just kind of like, I was like, dude, this is fucking disgusting. Like, and so we started to really look at the room. We pulled the sheet back all the way. Big ass blood stain. Big ass piss stain. And then there was a fucking like jizz stain because we took pictures and we changed the filter. Bro, it was like the trifecta of this nastiness, man. It was like the nastiest experience.
I hope you left.
We got the fuck out of there. But there was like mold on the corners. And I was like, how do they? How are you still open like this? Like
it's $32.
That's what I'm
in New York.
But it goes.
I know. No,
right? This was Tennessee. That's why it was crazy. But we ended up moving to the other hotel. But like I think about that, and then like right across the street from it was just like, and this was in the middle like of nowhere. It was just this motel, and then right across the street there was a liquor store, and then just a block away was just a giant strip club.
So clearly they get the booze, go to the strip club,
exactly,
and then bringing the hose
back to the motel. And I was like, this is a very sickening environment. Yeah, and it was just even the girl who worked at the front desk was like, this is the toxicity here is insane. Yeah, I was like, why are you here then? Like, if you're aware of it, get out. You know
what happened in your room was they brought back a stripper. She was pissy drunk. She pissed on the bed. The guy got pissed, punched her in the nose. She said, I'm gonna tell. He said, don't tell, baby. She said, all right. And then they had sex, and that's where the skeet stain came from.
The trifecta.
Well, on something that's maybe on a brighter side.
Yeah, let's go brighter.
We got photos of Beyonce's booty came out on the interwebs.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Those are nice.
Have you seen it, Luigi?
No, I haven't.
So there's this photo. This is the photo that everyone's like mostly like talking about because so basically right now, if you live under a rock and you don't know,
is this the only picture?
There's another. I'll grab the other one.
Wow.
Yeah, she's stacked in the back.
Jay-Z in the back just saying, what's up?
What's good?
I'm just chilling here. This is my wife, by the way.
Basically, they're on tour right now. And so there's a tour book that comes along with, I don't know if it's for VIP members or what, but so it comes with a bunch of photos that are in it. This one was the one that was getting Jay-Z. I'm gonna find a better photo of it.
Fat.
He looks like, but it's just the angle. It's mostly just the angle, because when you're laying down,
everything's smushed.
Exactly, everything just like
comes to the front.
a way to just spread.
Just like I want to see it.
I'll show you this one, but there's like a worse version of it where you can actually just see how his arm looks, and it doesn't look that cute. But the first one where like you can see her yellow thong poking and like it looks good and whatever, and people are like, some people are like, oh, y'all are when Kim Kardashian drops ass pics, you shame her, and why aren't you shaming Beyonce? Oh, here's the full pic. Why aren't you shaming Beyonce? And it's like, the difference is these photos are in the tour book that her fans decided to share with Twitter and Instagram in the world. Right. Not her being like, oh, it's just a Tuesday evening and I have 3 kids. Here's my ass.
Yeah.
What do you think the pictures mean?
Well, it's because the tour is on the run, and I've been looking at concert footage because I haven't purchased tickets, so it's like they're coming to LA in September, so I still have time to decide and to purchase tickets and whatever. So I don't know if I'm going yet or whatever, but the tour is on the run too, which, if you don't know, have you ever heard of on the run one? Mm-hmm. Okay, so there was that first one where it's like Bonnie and Clyde vibes. Yeah. So they've been teasing that there's this joint album coming soon, which I believe is gonna drop either halfway through this tour or just after the tour finishes, because we know it's coming. That's why she dropped a sad album and he dropped a I'm Sorry album, and so they could finesse everybody to drop this joint album, which is, I'm very pro you using your own information to finesse us, not
it's
like
smart.
EA Entertainment and TMZ and whatnot.
Well, the thing about them is they create so much buzz around themselves.
They do
naturally,
without actually having to call TMZ and say this is where we're at.
Exactly, because people are just so interested in what they're doing.
So the whole thing is just like more like couple goals, and I guess that photo where everyone was making fun of Jay-Z was like, maybe it was supposed to like represent intimacy and like feeling safe, because like Beyonce is a thick reasonably, not big woman, but like she's not short. Like she looks like she's probably about like 5'7" or like maybe even 5'9". I don't know, but she's not a short petite woman. So for her to be able to like fit in Jay-Z's arms is like, oh, like she feels safe in his arms and all that like corny sweet shit. So I think that's what those photos are supposed to be. And then the one with her ass was like, oh, mama still got it. Just, you thought these 3 kids had me slipping? You're
2
wrong.
kids.
Oh, conspiracy theories.
She has twins, right? But
She just had twins,
But then
like,
why do you
last
say
year.
3 kids?
Blue Ivy is her kid too.
Yeah.
But that was the lab kid.
Willie believes that Blue Ivy was like carried by surrogate.
Really?
And the jury is out, and it's not my business, so I don't really, I leave it as B. I don't.
Well, the thing is, like, you're not perfect, and people would love you more if you just admit that and be like, I had trouble having a kid the first time, so I got a surrogate because I'm really rich, and that's what rich people do, versus running around with fake bellies and stuff, looking ridiculous and trying to convince everyone that you had a natural birth when the way you look then versus the way you look during this presidency versus the way you look during this pregnancy is night and day.
I mean,
she's actually bloated and swollen
Yeah,
in this
pregnancy nose and everything.
versus like her first one where she was still slim everywhere. And she just
versus
had a big belly.
Blue Ivy.
When was Blue Ivy? How long ago was that?
That was like 2010, 2011.
So it's been a while.
Yeah. But you know what it is? Like I for a while I truly believed that she Blue was a surrogate. But then I saw some other videos that made me be like, oh, okay, maybe it's not what I thought it was. And like, you know, back to just mind your business, sis. But the thing is, society shames women that aren't able to carry their own kids, especially if it's their first child. And like I remember we were talking about how like their whole drama was it was manufactured, but all the information that they're giving us now, where it's like, he cheated, I had a miscarriage. All that shit happened like probably 4 or 5 years ago. They've been to therapy, they've sorted it out, and now they're telling us the story, right? So I feel like included, like with the Blue Ivy thing, it's like one of those things where it's like, we went through some real shit in those few years, and maybe she was carrying, because he did say sorry about the stillborn, so maybe the video footage we were seeing was a stillborn baby. God, you know, like I don't know personally because I wasn't there, so that's why I won't say, because I won't lie, I was one of those people that's like, no, it was a surrogate. But then I saw other videos that I was like, okay, maybe not, because this was supposed to be around the time frame where Blue Ivy was born. So, you know, it's neither here nor there. But what Willie's saying is that like the pregnancy of the twins, you could really see how like her body is different, and not in a bad way at all, because I love thick Beyonce, because you know it's thick season right now, so we out here, you know, we loving it or whatever. I just included myself in the mix. But it's very much like, you know, like Beyonce, Jay-Z, it's their world, and we just get to peek in when they allow us.
I mean, fair enough. They're the only celebrities that really get afforded that luxury, though.
Yes.
Only because for some reason everyone just decided to treat them like royalty, and it's like, okay,
it's because they carry
at the end
themselves
of the day just
that
celebrities.
At the end of the day, they're just regular people.
Yeah.
Who someone said, you're very valuable, and I just want to give you a lot of money.
Yeah, that's it.
And power.
And then
That's
all
very,
these
very true.
fat women and gay guys were like, oh, this is my queen. I love her.
Queen
It's
bee.
like,
Beyonce.
I think it's also because like Beyonce has been like how you said, like people decide to treat them like royalty. I believe it's because that's how they carry themselves. They carry themselves with a certain level of grace, where it's like they kind of let us know like they're not on our level. And for that most part, if it's like, oh, they're not on our level, that means like
I don't think that's the case at all.
You don't
I
think?
think they act just like you and I.
Yeah, I think so.
But the difference is they're not thirsty for celebrity like the rest of the celebrities
which
are.
makes us like them more. And like, because the reason why you say they're like you and I, which is because like you said, they're very relatable, but they're celebrities, and we can't forget, like, because everybody knows who they are, so they're on a pedestal, maybe not elevated, maybe not better than us, but they're on a pedestal versus other people, and just the way they carry themselves is better than like you said, they're not thirsty for attention.
I definitely do. I would say yes, they're in a pedestal according to societal terms. Like they're like, oh wow, but I personally don't care.
I don't care, and half the people around the world don't care either.
I don't think
only in America and wherever they stop on their world tour.
Exactly.
I mean, South Africa, they're pretty big in South Africa, and that's mostly because they've never been to South Africa.
What?
They went to Nigeria, which is they've been to Nigeria, and they did like I don't know if it was a concert or it was just like an event.
Was that when they went with the Obamas?
No. This was before Obama. Maybe it was early Obama presidency, but it was before like that. They went. I think no. They didn't go. I don't think they went to Nigeria with the Obamas. I don't think the Obamas have been to Nigeria. They went to Kenya. Obama went to Kenya, not Nigeria, I don't believe.
Okay.
Why do you think Obama went to Kenya?
Because he's from
Kenyan.
there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Another interesting thing
Rules
that I
don't
wanted
apply,
to rules don't
I think
apply.
Obama theories are always very interesting to me because people like to just come up with shit because he's black. And they're like, oh, look, we've only had white up until this point. Let's just make up some shit.
Well, that was Trump, man. Trump was like, where's his birth certificate?
It's kind of a fucked up thing.
I'm going to start campaigning for president. Where's his birth certificate? Yeah, fellow rednecks, where's his birth certificate? Yeah, where's his birth certificate? Yeah, where's his goddamn birth certificate?
Yeah. No, it's crazy, man. When I was a kid, I used to be like, that I guess that makes sense if he's not from here because it doesn't technically, the law says that. And it did take them a long time to just bring it up, but for a second there I was like, this all seems shady. Like as a young age I was like, the whole political thing just seems very shady.
I mean, even if we go back to 2008 with Ooohhhh, like, yo, homie came out of no fucking way.
Yeah, he did. I had never heard of Obama.
Nobody had ever
until
heard
that point.
He wasn't like, he was a career politician, but he wasn't like in your face career politician rising up. He was just like some guy that was in Chicago all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then one day there was like, how about this guy Obama? And we were like, wow, he's pretty attractive. And then we heard him speak and he was like, hello everybody. And then we're like, oh my god, let's do this guy.
You know my favorite thing,
especially after Bush. Holy crap.
Well, my favorite thing at this last election was just to go watch old Obama videos where he shits on Hillary.
Yeah.
Because it's like, dude, he had to do it just as much as Trump is having to do it.
Just as much.
And people, I'm like, look at the old footage. Even Obama's telling you she's terrible.
And
like,
then he turned around and hired her.
Exactly. Turns around, hires her, and then
politics.
And then he basically was like, guys, vote for Hillary over Trump. But it's like, bro, you bashed the fuck out of her.
Yeah, you did.
Like, and you also, like, you didn't want to admit it, but I'm sure during your presidency, she wasn't always on your side. You know, I'm sure he was fighting Hillary sometimes. I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, she has been in the White House.
Yeah,
like,
she's been doing this shit forever.
20 years prior to him.
Yeah, she knows how it works. She knows exactly how it works. So she's like,
but I mean, it's not like it worked well when she was in the White House. So
no, it didn't work well. Well, it worked well for her and him. Well, I guess it didn't end well for him.
Yeah, I mean, so did it work well if it didn't end well?
Overall, it did, yeah, because they got whatever they wanted,
and all that
and they got
jazz.
to implement their bullshit laws and stuff.
They did.
And help out their homies, and they got really rich in the process.
They did.
And they killed a lot of people.
This is the second time you're bringing that up on the podcast.
Well, it's true.
It's true.
I mean, I know it's true, but I'm
just-
saying is like, I like that you're consistent where it's like, if you haven't already looked it up, look it up. The Clintons
Look it
are
up.
shady
The Clinton
as fuck.
Foundation. It's a very serious business.
It's a very serious
and
business.
people always just brush over it like, oh yeah, it's the money from the Clinton Foundation. Look at all the money that goes into that organization. It's nuts. You know, like
It is.
People always just want to like look at the
it's
person
non-taxable.
on the person that you see on the screen. It's a puppet. You know, it's like,
Yeah.
look at me, I'm dancing, but it's like, look at all the shit that happens behind closed doors.
Yeah, exactly.
And nobody ever likes to do that because it's like, that's the scary shit.
Look.
That's true.
We like to pay attention to the iceberg poking out of the water, but we don't realize that even though that iceberg is just the tip hanging out, there's a massive bunch of ice underneath, and it's cold.
Do you ever think about like the Titanic and you're just like, how did you not see the iceberg?
Well, the Titanic didn't really happen.
That's what that's
Isn't
funny.
that? Are you guys going to do that on your conspiracy episode, or do you want to just talk
Let's
about
just
that
talk
now?
about
We're
it
just
right
talking
now.
about it right
Okay.
now because
Yeah.
isn't it called the Olympia or Olympia?
Yeah, it was this
the Olympia.
insurance
The Olympia,
fraud.
and it was just like, oh, an insurance fraud scheme,
Yeah.
and all those people died, and then years later, people are finally talking about it, and it's just like, it happened so long ago.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. I was talking to somebody about it the other day, and I was like, hey, isn't this kind of interesting? Like, there's a big whole thing, and I think one of the reasons it's so interesting is because there's a movie that literally was one of the biggest movies ever.
Black Panther just knocked it out of its place.
Yeah,
but it was like, but people when they were like Leonardo DiCaprio, like growing, like him in that movie is just like what you see him always as, like, oh well, he did Titanic. It's like, oh well, you're right. Leonardo DiCaprio can never do no wrong. It's like. It's weird, you know. People
Titanic is the standard of cinema,
and people are judging like people's acting and like the actions that they do on screen as their personal, like even with Chris Pratt, and like because of the fact what happened in Avengers about how he did, you know, he fucked up. All his fans were like, how could you do? I'm like, it's a fucking fake movie.
And they didn't say that when he cheated on Anna Faris.
I mean, I don't know. Allegedly, I know that's just like people are just talking, but I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
Why would he leave? Because they have kids
he didn't
together.
leave. He was just there was just too much around Anna Faris and the Jennifer Lawrence thing. When he was doing Passengers, they were on set with Jennifer Lawrence, and she was just like, he was away for like 6 months, and there was just all these
She's
gossip
the younger,
blogs,
hotter thing.
all these gossip blogs were telling Anna Faris, like going up to her and saying, what do you know anything about your husband cheating on you with Jennifer Lawrence? And she's like, what the fuck? Like, are you kidding me?
That's crazy.
Like, how do you take that as somebody? Like, even now as I say it, it kind of like trembles my body, because I would be like, I don't know how to react to that. I don't know what to, like, that thought never crossed my head, and now you're putting it in my mind. Right. Like, I'd be kind of pissed, honestly.
Right. Well, it's like you got to spend 6 months on a deserted island with somebody that's really hot and young.
Exactly.
Of course you're going to be insecure.
And they have a love scene, so it's like,
oh wow. Well, I mean, that's how Brad got Angelina.
Really? Oh, Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
Yeah. I mean, that's how Jen lost her.
I think it's so interesting because it's like that does happen. Celebrities will even the guy.
That's how fucking Jen sucky actress.
Which one?
Kristen Stewart.
She was smashing the director.
Oh, Megan Fox too. Wasn't Megan Fox doing stuff, and that's why she was getting those roles?
I don't know. I think Megan Fox just stopped doing the stuff she was doing, and they were like,
Megan Fox just gave up. Megan Fox just gave up.
No, I mean, she got a husband, so she's like, I can't be out here like that.
I can't be hoeing anymore.
I have kids.
She shouldn't have gotten a husband.
I love this guy.
Well, the rumor is that she, along with like a lot of other like A-list actress type women like
allegedly,
that,
don't forget
allegedly, don't sue me, are just literally high price hoes for like the Arab guys, and they fly over for like private sessions and stuff, and they'll go show up at a club and be like the date for the night with,
and they're a celebrity, so it's like there's appeal.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, ooh, look who I brought Kate Upton.
Yeah, and to the people who are there, they're just thinking, oh wow, it's a celebrity. Oh my god, it's so cool.
American cinema.
And then to the celebrity is like, I'm just getting money.
I'm getting a ton of money for being
so much
here
money
to
for
eat
being
dinner.
That's literally
and hang out with these Arab guys.
What happened with Kim Kardashian when they brought her to Nigeria. Same shit. She just showed up to be at a dinner, and she got paid a shit ton of money.
It's just so people can see
just
her and say, look, Kim. I saw Kim Kardashian.
I saw Kim.
That's not how Nigerians sound.
No, we were Arab.
We were Arab, yeah.
I mean, okay, you're right. But I was talking specifically about when
South African,
went to Nigeria.
the Elon Musk. Yeah.
Oh God, she sounds like Rasputin.
Someone, what was it? Someone said something about Elon Musk, and he's still dating. What's her name?
Grimes.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so interesting. I've been following the story, and people just been like, "Why Elon? Like, why?" People are starting to like question him now, because most people were just kind of like, what he says is good because he's smart, you know.
He's a white South African.
But it even goes to show, it's like, dude, he projected Tesla 3 coming out like fast, and it's like, dude, they're so backlogged. That shit. The Model S3, I think.
Like, yeah, that Model 3.
And they did a whole thing in his factory, and he looks just so stressed out.
Super backlogged. You can't keep up with production. That's a good problem to have, but a bad problem at the same time.
Exactly.
Everyone's gonna say, "Screw this. Let me just get a different car."
Exactly. It's like, dude, I don't want to wait. I've been like, imagine being like, I want that car. It's like, I'm gonna wait, and then you have to wait 7 months, and you're like not driving for 7 months, and you're just like, ugh.
You have to wait 7 months to put the deposit down, to wait 3 years to get the car.
Oh my goodness. That sounds terrible.
Keep it. And you can't even buy it secondhand off someone because
you have to go through Tesla.
You have to go through Tesla.
Oh God,
that's so strange. But I like it the way he thinks though. As far as like simulations and stuff go, I think all the whole talk of worlds and like.
Well, I mean,
all that stuff is interesting.
You saw the whole Shane Dawson thing where he was like, he sent the car up into space, but it was so fake looking, and
it did.
We all know it was fake, and then he had like that moment where it shows the studio that the car is in.
Yeah,
because he's like a noted flat earther.
Yeah,
like he fully believes in flat Earth.
But then why is he launching rockets into space?
That's the thing. It's like, what are you really doing?
What are you really doing?
Because you don't believe. You're on record for not believing in space and like around space.
After watching that Shane Dawson video, I honestly was like, I see where you're coming from, and like I get the fact that there's like really no proof about really anything now, because you can never truly believe something until you really see it. Yeah, I believe
until
that.
you see it for yourself.
At least when you see exactly
eyes.
like when you like. I feel like there's people out there who won't ever truly believe the Earth is round because it's like I don't see it.
Yeah,
you can't see it no matter how high you go. You still see flat horizon. You see no curvature, especially based on what you're supposed to be able to see. Even if you use just simple aeronautical rules, the rules of aeronautics state that if you're going, if the Earth is curved like they say it is, and you're flying and you're going to a destination, you need to pitch your nose down a certain degrees every certain amount of minutes in order to stay on Earth and not just fly straight into space. So
that makes sense.
So
yeah, I'm like yes.
Yeah. So, but if you notice when you fly on long ass flights, that never happens. You always stay straight.
You always do straight.
You don't. If anything, you'll tilt sideways, but you're not gonna.
Well, you only tilt sideways at the beginning, right? When you're turning to find that straight direction you're going headed in.
And the thing is, you don't even fly in straight directions. But have you ever seen flight maps?
Yeah,
like it's always like this.
It's a curve.
Yeah, and that's because
they want you to see
a direct path will dispute the notion that things are round and land masses are placed where they're actually placed.
Interesting.
Like how we know them on a map.
That when they talked about nobody being able to go to Antarctica, it kind of interested me a lot as well.
Exactly.
Because I'm like, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
You cannot go.
Like, even you
can't cross the caps.
Really?
Yeah. What? Remember when they were talking about the woman that started having the baby on the plane?
And then they went to Alaska.
And they went straight from one point to like Japan. And it's supposed to take forever to get there because of the normal flight path. But he just cut straight across.
And they went to Alaska.
Yeah, they went to Alaska.
And it was like super random.
Yeah, and it was really quick.
Why wouldn't you just go to LA where it's straight ahead? Why'd you have to turn to go to Alaska?
Right.
And like that seems more complicated.
Exactly. And they took like that normal boom straight over.
That's weird. And I think it's weird that you can't go over to Antarctica because it's like that's clearly hiding something when you have to get everybody involved and say so nobody goes.
Nobody goes.
It's like what?
Like we all hate each other, but we all agree on one thing.
What someone needs to do is write a film about that, because then you can pitch it and then you say, let us explore it, let us know what it's about. We're trying to make some sort of fantasy film.
Shit,
that'd be interesting.
Boy, do you want to see an abominable snowman? Because it's real.
I want to see what's on the other side. Wouldn't you want to? If someone told you it's like there, you can't go there, and everybody agrees you can't go there, it's like, imagine being the first person.
You're gonna die, guaranteed.
But imagine
you have
what you'd
no
see.
idea. What's the use in seeing it if you're the only person to ever see it? You died.
You're the only person to ever see it. It's an experience. You start to think differently based on.
You're not gonna start to think differently. You're gonna be dead.
What if you just see like a bunch of like enslaved people on the other side? Would that? I feel like that would make you think differently.
You'd be like, holy shit, and then you turn around and
I would turn around and be like, all right guys, let's back to America. Just continue to do what you're doing. I didn't see anything. It's like
Tobi and I saw this video where they had like these hidden cameras up there in the North Pole area,
really,
at this base, and then like in the cameras you see like this like creature, like a tall man with like hair, and he had like fangs, and he was just like
Slender Man body, but hairy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was so creepy. And he was standing and he was like slucking around and he was like breathing heavy and shit. And then he noticed the camera and then he like froze for a second. And then he just kind of like slithered back out of the
I gotta
frame.
see this. I
swear to God.
It was one of those like weird, creepy things.
I kind of want to watch those
display
now. I love
videos.
watching those videos because it's just like
we just creeped ourselves
weird
out.
videos.
I know. We're so creeped out.
weird videos. And like sometimes there's some really good ones that actually like I feel like will terrify you, especially at night. Like I remember when I would go to Azusa, I would longboard down like late at night, like the metro. I would get there at like 1:30 in the morning, and I would just put on headphones and I would just listen on YouTube it's like Mr. Nightmare. And he just reads all these creepy stories that have happened. Dude, I would get so fucking like my whole body as I was riding the longboard. I'm like getting chills. I'm like, oh, I don't know about that. You know, that sounds super weird. It's like one of them was about a 7-Eleven worker, and it's like the dude came in, bought something, and then like looked at him in his eyes and then like just stared at him for like 15 seconds, and the guy didn't say anything and then walked out. And the dude was like, what? And then he like went to go lock the door, and then all the lights in the 7-Eleven went off. And the dude was like, what the heck? And he went to go check in the back, and the door was open.
Oh no.
And the dude is like looking around like, what the heck is this? So he closes it, gets a flashlight out, and goes like, they have like the meat package, the cooler, not the meat package, but like the cooler where they have all the beers and stuff. And he goes in, and he says that as he was in there, he saw a man like just like in a corner like staring at him, and that the dude was just like he didn't know whether to like leave or run, and so he just started booking it the fuck out of it. But he had already locked the doors, so instead he just trapped the guy in the freezer until the police came. But I was like, dude, imagine going through that. Like
the guy, and that was the same guy?
That was the same dude. The same dude that stared at him, that was staring at him for like 15 seconds.
Fuck,
it's like, didn't say anything.
Dude, I got goosies, man.
Yeah, man. Like that shit freaks me out because it's like same dude that was just and out of nowhere.
Just staring at you. Seconds ago.
Just like moments ago before you closed the store, and it was like.
And like literally, like let's time out 15 seconds because that's a long time.
That's a long time.
Stare
like,
at someone in their eyes. Like,
and then not say anything.
Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi, 7 Mississippi, 8 Mississippi, 9 Mississippi, 10 Mississippi, 11 Mississippi, 12 Mississippi, 13 Mississippi, 14 Mississippi, 15 Mississippi, and then you just turn and leave.
And then that's a long time.
Hell no. And then the lights went out? Hell no. And then you're in the freezer? How'd you get out of the front to the back so fast?
I know.
I followed you.
I know.
And then I locked the door.
And the dude was just trying to I'm closing this door down because it's it was so like, scary. And the worst part is it's already late at night. And it's just, and it's one of those I don't know if it was a 7-Eleven or it was just a regular liquor store, but it was like you're just working in one of those gas stations late at night in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, for a fact there's not other people around, so it's just like extra creepy because you're already on high alert. Yeah. And it's like this dude stares at you for 15 seconds, doesn't say anything, and just leaves. And it's like you just sold him something, and now I'm very scared. Like and so I was listening to stuff like that, like on the way back to my dorm. Sometimes I would stop, dude, and I would like look around, and I would just get so paranoid.
You have to stop and be like,
I would have to, because even just like going small distances, I would just turn around.
Yeah,
and I was like, wait, I thought I felt something, or maybe I heard something. It was never anything, but just that feeling of maybe. And I remember there was one time that I actually like, it was just like some kid, but he was, because Azusa Pacific is right next to this other community college, Citrus, and it was just, I was coming back, I was like 2 a.m. There was just a kid in the parking lot, like just sitting there. And I was like,
what do you mean a kid? Like a college kid?
Like it was just a college kid, but it was weird. It was so weird.
Like
it was
like
2 a.m. Yeah. If it was a child, I would be like, 911, there's a child over here. And I'm just going to be staring at him until you come, because you know what? Fuck that. I'm going to get some video proof right now. What if he
started running towards you?
If the child said, I would get my longboard and just be ready to smack. Just get pow, you know?
But then you swing.
It's a ghost.
And it goes right through the kid.
Oh, see, at that point I'd be like, so can you tell me what you are, because I'm curious.
Please don't kill me.
I see, that's for me, it's like I'd rather just have a conversation with the ghost, be like, what are you all about?
That's the opposite of what you're supposed to do.
Is it really?
Yeah, you're not supposed
to. When you speak to spirits,
you're
never speaking to the spirit that you're intending to speak to.
Because there's always, because this is what I remember when I was researching this, that apparently what happens is you want to like, you want to have some item that reminisces of the person and all this, but it's like in reality when you're just messing in that spirit world, you're just gonna whatever's around you.
Like,
so it's like if your vibe around you suddenly changes, it's like what's in the vicinity, you know, maybe like something that's going on, and it just gets sucked into this, and it's just like boom, you know, and it's a that's I remember,
and it feeds and grows off the attention you give it.
It feeds, and I've heard too many stories of people who mess with that stuff, and I'm just like, you've experienced it, so you're well aware, you know. So, but they never do it again. It's just like a one and done. But it's one of those experiences where I'm like, you're better off.
Sometimes one time's too many.
One time's too many. Exactly. It's like you don't want to risk it because that's how people get possessed.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, everybody knows like people get possessed. It's a real thing.
Or like shit starts to follow you and you can't move.
Exactly. Oh my God, no! Yeah. I don't like that.
Like no matter where you go, it just follows you.
Oh my God, I don't like that.
Because you've released it.
It's attached itself to you.
I don't like that. I'm like getting scared. I'm like looking around. I'm like, Carlton, are you okay? He's asleep.
He's asleep. He can't help us.
He doesn't care.
He's supposed to be guarding.
He's supposed to be the gatekeeper to the doors of death or something. What was it?
No, he's asleep with his back to you.
The spirits.
Oh, the gatekeeper to the spirits passed out.
Yeah.
He said the spirit world's closed right now. Let me get it back. But no,
I think we're good.
I think we're good, right? Do you guys have anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to tap into a little bit of Handmaid's Tale, like no spoilers,
so good.
But just had to talk about just like
if we do spoil it, well, tough titties.
Well, I'm just
the show's
talking
on
about
season
like
2, so
the concepts. I'm not even going to necessarily talk. I'll talk about the basic storyline.
We'll keep the plot out of it.
Yeah, it's just like a plot summary. It's just the worst thing. The crazy thing about it is that we all went into it like, oh, you know, this is some medieval show or fantasy show like Game of Thrones or whatever. And then we like all watched the first episode and we're like, whoa.
Exactly.
This is modern day society.
Is modern
like,
day.
This is supposed to be like maybe a couple years ahead of what we're in currently. But I just like, as a woman watching that show, it's so layered, and it's like, whoa, man, like the hate for women will really drive society to its own death.
Yeah.
Well, really, it's not a hate for women. It's the fact that women can't have kids.
But
and
it's extremism.
And because of that fact, they've taken extreme measures, which is finding the only women capable of having those kids and making them do whatever it is to keep society going, even if it includes having kids against their will.
And I just want to say that this story takes place in modern time. Like this isn't a time period piece. This is now. Like if 2018 some cult just took over and was like, the women no longer really have rights and you're now just birthing chambers. Like it's kind of a crazy concept, but I love the fact that it's set in modern time because it makes it so much more interesting.
It makes it so much more scarier.
Yeah, it does. It also does that.
It's like
it's realistic.
Yeah, it's very realistic.
Because our government has a ton of power.
That's true. What I was saying, my theory is that like my whole thing about how the people can't have kids is literally God like trying in that show is trying to God trying to say like, y'all ain't shit. Why would I allow you guys to keep procreating when y'all literally ain't shit? So I'm gonna just let it die with this generation. But no, humans, we have to swoop in and ruin things just like we do.
Yeah.
And instead of like being like, oh God, what have we done? Like, remember, like even in the Bible when there was barren lands and everything,
right?
Because the land is supposed to reproduce so that humans can continue and whatever.
Yeah.
It was because of the sin of man. And so that's where like I found very interesting about the show, how it's like it's very much like a scary circle of just we're doing something wrong and then we perpetrate something wrong and then we perpetrate another thing that's wrong, and that karma is coming back to screw us again. And
right and humans have this flaw of trying to be overly virtuous and determine everyone's fate, including the fate of other humans, and that's part of the issue as well. It's
we
like,
just want
you
to play
guys,
God.
You're not learning, you're still turning words into your own favor. And it stems from some guy wanting to have sex with other women.
That's the crazy.
And found one verse that fit his perspective, and it was like, oh, Here
There's
we go.
Bible precedent.
There's Bible precedent.
It's like I also like I really wanted to recommend that to like boy, girl, whoever you are, they, them, whoever, whatever you identify as. Like you should watch that show because it's also like a trigger warning of what could happen if we just sit by and let shit happen.
Right, and all this fake protesting with just using picket signs and mobs
when guns are facing
stuff.
you.
Exactly, like when the guns are facing you, it's simply a decision of if they're going to activate or not. So one day you have to expect that when they are pointing those guns at you, they're going to fire and your voice won't matter because you don't have a gun back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's one of the biggest fears for a lot of people, just being oppressed by their own government. And it's very sad when it happens because it's the people you actually thought were supposed to be there.
But that's the thing. That's the trippy thing about the show is that it was like they keep talking about like they took over the Capitol and then they took over the government. Like it's a weird thing. So it's like a military. All you need is
I think they
Game
said
of Thrones.
it was,
all you need is an army.
It was the Senate, then they went executive branch, and then judicial.
No,
that's
no. It was
No.
Capitol.
They killed Congress overall.
Yeah.
And then they blew up the White House, which is what the radioactive area is, I think. Because remember that Lucas was like, there was a bombing at the White House.
Yeah.
And then they took out finally.
It was it was
like
the
cops,
Congress,
then,
executive branch, and then judicial.
Yeah, and
branch.
then like cops and all that civil service.
Because they just came in.
That was my thing. I was like, what happened?
Own army.
What happened to the cops? Did they just kind of like give in?
Well, martial law went into effect, so cops are irrelevant.
That's true. Well, once you destroy a government, like once you
overthrow
the Congress and all that, it's like there's really nothing else they can do.
Those are the people supposed to protect.
They became an oligarchy, basically.
What's that?
An oligarchy is when a small group takes over control. And so now, like, this small group of people deciding, I guess the eye is what they're called.
Yeah, the eye.
People of sons of Abraham or people of Gilead or something.
Gilead is the name of the
what they call
live.
New America in the show.
Yeah, which is really just Boston.
No, but it's supposed to be, because remember how it's supposed to be the entire U.S. because the U.S. is supposed to be like isolated and like Europe cut off like trade deals and such with the. So it's we're only seeing it happen in like the East Coast, but apparently the way it's said is that some states are maybe like California because we're big enough or whatever. Maybe they didn't quite adjust and they're gonna try to spread and take over.
What I interpreted it as was the U.S. overall was
taking
under
over.
This rule.
I think so too. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and the only way to get out from under that is to go to Canada or Mexico
and escape.
And not even Mexico anymore, because Mexico's kind of like, not bad. But
yeah, I know.
Canada's still like, nah, we're the good guys always.
Yeah,
which is interesting because our president just said that Canada is not like they basically are just our relations with them are terrible. Right?
He's just mad that the boss of Canada is like way more good looking than him.
Well,
I think Trudeau was like, we're not going to be pushed around.
Well, exactly, but it's worse when he tweets about it and is like, I know we just met up at the G7 summit, but I'm not gonna sign it. It's like, bro, then why did you waste all of our time?
Yeah, like
you
don't even show up.
It's like, dude, please, I hate that. That's so one of the reasons why I'm like, geez,
yeah,
bro.
like, come on, why? If everyone is getting together and agreeing, hey, maybe we should try and like make things better. Why would you be the only guy there? And did you see that picture with like Angela Merkel standing over him and he's like sitting down with his arms folded, like, pouting? Like it's that picture is this administration in a nutshell. Pouty, entitled, bratty old white kids.
This is
old white kids.
This is what I say. This is what I think. I think either you tell us the truth as far as like, hey, if you want to complain about something as the president, at least tell the people like, hey, this is why I'm complaining. Like maybe there is things that they're making the United States do that are bad, or like that at the overall is like, hey, we don't benefit as much as everybody else does. Like, can we talk about that? But it's like they don't tell us anything. They just go, "Oh, we talked, and I don't want to sign it." It's like, well,
there's no reason for that because there is no reasoning behind not signing.
Exactly.
The
That's
only
why I'm
reasoning
like,
is that his homies are in power, and
he's just jealous.
Keeping his homies in power.
But I'm saying like, if it would be different if they would at least tell us something instead of just keeping it vague and then complaining, because then that just doesn't help you, And I feel like that's the reason I'm just kind of like over the whole Trump thing, because it's just like every single thing you would expect this guy to just be like, hey, let's just look at it logically. It's like he just does the opposite and just goes, you know what? I'm just going to try something new. It's like, what?
Well, people are under this sad notion that the government still has our best interest at heart.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
They don't give a shit about us as people. They're not going to tell us anything. They're not going to help us with anything. They're not looking out for our best interests. Only thing that they care about is what helps them and their friends stay at the top. And everyone else is literally sheep in their eyes, and whatever they decide is what's going to happen. And how we feel about it is totally irrelevant. It doesn't matter at all to them. And that's not going to change. And that's why Handmaid's Tale is so good to me, because it's like the only way that any substantial change could have happened would have to be in a radical way like that, where they literally showed up to Congress with 30 dudes and just with guns and just started wedding everybody,
which is like what happened in Olympus Has Fallen, right? Like just
I think
two
so.
vans. It was like 2 vans of people, which I'm like, really, our whole government got taken down by 2 vans of people
with guns.
It's easy because everyone's sitting in a row of chairs.
That's true.
If 30 dudes, everyone pick a row, you can just spin in a circle and take out our whole government. So.
But then it goes to show how much value you put on these people.
Yeah, well, that's just the thing. We didn't put that value on them. They put that value on themselves.
They put that value on themselves. Ooh. Yeah, I know. That's the part that is very sad.
They're supposed to be normal ass people with jobs.
Yeah.
Being in Congress is not supposed to be their job
for life.
For life.
Well, like, in Texas, most congressmen, I think they serve either 3 or 4 months, and then the rest of the time they're off, because they know it's a part-time job. It's not supposed to be like, most of them are lawyers who run their own businesses or stuff like that. But Texas is very like, this is how it should have been, and that's why for me, I can never be like, oh, I'm this or I'm that, because it's like both sides have things that I can see myself agreeing with.
Same.
Even just like the way certain states run policy, and it's almost like you get 50 states, so you have 50 different experiments going on at the same time.
Right. I like guns and gun rights, but I don't like racism.
Exactly. So it's like, oh, where do I go? And that's why I tell people, it's like, dude, if you don't agree with what your state's doing, just move. Everybody else, like, there's a different state where they're doing different things. Either that or run for office and change it.
Yeah, that's the only options, really.
But it's just like,
that is so true.
Complaining won't do anything.
Complaining's never gonna do anything. Complaining is only gonna cause you personally to be like, man, this sucks and this is terrible.
You'll feel good for one moment while you vent.
Exactly. And that's it. And then after that, you're just gonna say, well, maybe one day something will change. And it's like,
I just wanted to bring up, because like what you were saying about, like actually how you can change things is like physically running for office. And I'm trying to find this article of, there's this woman who recently got voted in as a commissioner in Atlanta. I hope this is it. But so I'm looking for it right now. But basically, she got voted. She won by 13 points. Wow. This woman like got sworn in with her afro blown. Well, it wasn't blown out. It was like combed out. And she did her, what is it when you pray on the Bible or whatever?
Your inauguration.
So she got sworn in. And the book, because you can choose any book. And she chose, I want to say either, does Huey Newton have a book?
Probably.
Okay, no, I think it was Malcolm X's book that she actually got sworn in. Like, she's got the Black Power fist up, and she's like 26 years old. So it's like one of those things that literally, I'm trying to find the article, but yes, I think this is it that's opening up. Basically, this is her. Her name is.
She ran.
She ran and she won. She's a 26. Mariah Parker is a 26-year-old University of Georgia doctoral student and newly elected Athens Clarke County Commissioner.
Good for her.
And so it's like one of those things of like picking up where you're saying that if, sometimes it's like they always say black women just say, fine, I'll do it myself. And she won by 13 points, where it's like one of those things where even if you think like you might not make a difference, like every vote counts, and like people should step up more to, because we always say, how are you having people that are on the other side of dying controlling what we're doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And the only way that can change is us actually stepping up. And yes, she did use Malcolm X's book to swear to get sworn into, and her mom was holding it for her, and it was just like a beautiful moment and whatever. So yeah, you know, nice. Get out there and do your shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, why not?
Original politics was really running for some sort of issue you didn't like and you wanted to fix. Like,
and the worst part is that the people that suck have no problem running for office. Like, they understand, like, our opinion sucks, but we're running. So you either vote for us or you vote for someone else.
And then they're just going to bring out all the trash from the other guy. Like, look, but he did all these worse things. It's like,
yeah.
But what have you done? Have you done anything? And the worst kind of politician is one that will be like, look, I did a couple of good things. But then it's like, but you've been here for 40 years. Yeah. It's like, you did maybe 6 good things, but then you've also done like 100 bad ones. Right. But you only show us the 6. Yeah. And since I only watch this one television news network, I'm going to vote for you. And it's like, you just suddenly got brainwashed into voting for another guy that you don't even know.
You don't even know. I mean, when you have people like the guy in Virginia that is trying to legalize incest so he can have sex with his daughter.
Oh, God.
And you have guys like that running, and they're running unopposed in a lot of places. The
pedophile?
Yeah. And then, like...
Well, even Roy Moore. Roy Moore was...
Even Roy Moore, who almost won. Sadly. But it's like, yo, if those guys are running, why don't people with more common sense and competency run for these same offices?
You know what's funny? I was at a party at UTA when they announced that he lost, and they made an announcement. It was weird.
That who lost?
Like that Roy Moore lost. Oh. They stopped the party, and then they were like,
it was big
we
news.
just want to make an announcement like Roy Moore lost, and everybody got really excited.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's really exciting. But then at the same time, you guys might be very like, I hope this isn't the way you go into everything. Like you're still open to listening to ideas. You know, he was crazy, but other people might have better ideas. You never know. Yeah. But it was just interesting because it's not something I would have ever experienced. You know, so goes to show how liberal California is. And I'm like deep in, and I'm just like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm just observing. I'm not gonna say that. I'm just observing.
Deep, man. It's deep. Yeah.
I just wanted to add that guy, the pedophile, the other guy, I don't know his name, and I don't want to like glorify his name or whatever. He actually went as for like, not only is he a pedophile, but like, I think, did you hear about the fact that he ran several websites where he talked about his dark fantasies?
Oh, wow.
He talked about being able to rape your wife. Mind you, this ex-wife.
You talking about Roy Moore?
No, not Roy Moore.
Oh, the Virginia guy?
Yes, that guy.
Yeah.
He even he used to rape his ex-wife, and the only reason she's an ex is because she committed suicide.
What?
Yes.
Wow.
So, and like on his like dark website, it was about like writing dark violent fantasies that he wanted to like rape his 3-year-old. So, no, but the thing is, you have to say this. People have to, because some people think like pedophilia is just like being slightly attracted to like 12-year-olds. Like, people need to know
it goes deep.
Like a 3-year-old, like that's gross, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
And the fact that he wants to be like, I'm a pedophile, but it's okay, like that is not okay, like at all. Because I think people are like, oh well, technically if she's under 18 it's pedophilia, but it's like there's levels to it, and it's like gets deep and dark, and it should never be okay.
No one should ever have sexual interest in a toddler.
Or their own family member.
For that. And honestly, the simple fact that he's publicly gone on record stating that though his illegal desires are fully intended on being legalized, that should A, disqualify him, B, get him locked up, and C, make sure that there's a precedent where these kind of people aren't qualified to run.
Yes.
Yes. So at the Tony Awards, this just happened, but De Niro said "fuck Trump" twice while on stage. She was like "fuck Trump," "fuck Trump,"
my man.
And like, I think it's very interesting how we've moved so weirdly in a way that you can just stand on the stage and just be like, fuck the president of the United States. I think it's very, very strange.
Yeah, man. You can't do that shit in Russia.
You can't do that shit anywhere
Can't
else.
do it in North Korea.
But it goes to show it's like Robert De Niro, one of the people who like so many people look up to, which is insane as well. But it's like, but he's like, he's literally saying like, you guys need to kind of wake up to this because this shit's kind of crazy. You know?
It's been crazy and it's gone on long enough. Like, let's just get these clowns out of here. Like, come on.
Honestly,
what is taking so long?
I didn't want Hillary, and now I kind of don't want Trump. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, it was. I feel sorry for y'all Americans because it was hard.
It was
Hillary the criminal versus Trump the criminal.
Choose the lesser of two evils.
And the fact that you have to say that.
Yeah.
The fact that you have to say that. They're
That's why
both
they
still
have to get
evil.
Bernie
They're
out.
both still evil.
Yeah.
They're both
Like,
so evil. You can't. But in order to attain that kind of power, you have to be a degree of evil because there's so many people you have to step on to get where you want to be without being impeded by anything.
that's
Sad truth.
When people stand in the way of the Clintons, they make sure they get rid of them. Even if they didn't do anything to the Clintons, if they stand to possibly end up saying something that could counteract what they're trying to get done, or anyone in government for that period, you turn up missing. Simple as that. And I mean, there's even noted journalists that have been telling their family members like, yo, weird stuff's happening. If I turn up missing, just know
it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
wow.
it wasn't me. And sure enough, boom, turn up dead.
That's
So it's
sad,
like, you know, it's weird, man. It's a sad world that we live in, but it's one we have to navigate, and hopefully love and light comes out on the other side. Because, you know, I'm a firm believer in theories, and the theory of every action having an equal and opposite reaction. I'm still waiting on that equal and opposite reaction to all this BS that we're dealing with right now. So
Nice.
hopefully going forward, we can collectively be like, hey, let's be smarter as a country, and we'll go from there.
So I truly do.
Oh snap! Vince Vaughn was arrested for a DUI.
That's not surprising.
He's rich.
Vince Vaughn, what are you doing? Vince Vaughn, what has he been doing lately? I mean, he hasn't been doing anything.
Really fat.
Dude, have you noticed that most celebrities just get fat when they stop working? They're just like, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can't help but get fat when you get older. Anthony Bourdain looked pretty good, but
that was really sad.
You know.
I know. You know, it's funny. They said they came out. They said that he was doing really well right before he died. So that's kind of interesting, I think.
It's because he saw the girl that dumped him with another dude while they're on location.
No.
So he said, I can't fuck with this. I'm like 65, 70. She just dumped me. Now I have nobody.
Oh, so
I'm
he
really
had just gotten dumped? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's
He just
really
gotten
sad.
dumped by a woman that he made producer on his show.
No.
And she dumped him.
Heartbreak can kill you, literally.
Literally, and he couldn't deal with it.
I mean, isn't that what happened to Debbie Reynolds? Isn't that remember? What was Princess Leia? Carrie, what's her last
Carrie
name?
Fisher.
Carrie Fisher.
No, she died from partying too much.
No, not her, but her mom. Her mom passed away
she died from partying too much too.
Oh, you think so?
They both used to do heavy coke and drugs and stuff. Like, it's noted, like, these ladies were going hard.
Yeah, but
like,
I mean, for her to pass away like right after her
like
daughter died,
1 p.m. That's because they're best friends partying, and she was like old.
You make it sound just like so nonchalant, like they were best friends partying. What do you mean?
They were.
I feel.
And then like when your best friend dies and she's younger than you, you're like, whoa, well, shit, man, what am I doing?
But hey, shouts out to Anthony Bourdain, because he was doing some really cool stuff, and he entertained the hell out of everybody.
Man,
he was cool. He was a good one. He will be missed, and I hope whoever lives on with his name or his family that is survived by him. But good luck, I guess.
Hopefully.
Good luck.
Good luck. Life is hard.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Best of luck in the afterlife. But yeah, man, we've gotten dark tonight, guys.
We went really dark. I think it's because it's our 13th episode.
Oh,
I think it's because it's our 13th episode, and we talked about a lot of like very like creepy,
ghosts,
like conspiracy, like
cockroaches.
It was our dark. It was a very dark episode.
Cockroaches.
We got like super like the spectrum of it. Like I don't know. We were definitely on the darker side today, but it's all right
and
because
that's fine. You don't have to be a ray of sunshine every day.
Yeah, you don't have to be a ray of sunshine every day. But it was fun. I had a good time. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Sorry, can I just say one last thing?
Go for it.
Ocean's 8 made $41.5 million this weekend. Shout out to all my bad bitches.
What was it?
$41.5 million
for Ocean's.
Yes, 8.
It's pretty good. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
Congrats to all my bad bitches.
Shout out to all those girls. Yo, before we leave, I want to ask you guys a question.
Go for it.
Actually, I'm not gonna ask a question. I'm just gonna tell a joke, and we'll call it quits there.
All right,
let's get the vibe back up before we leave.
Okay.
So we were talking about like Trump and all that shit. So, in breaking news, Triple Crown winner Justify has turned down an invitation to the White House. Justify was the horse that won the Triple Crown race.
What the heck?
So the horse turned down the freaking invitation, and he goes, when asked why, he answered, "If I wanted to see a horse's ass, I would have just finished second."
Oh, damn. That's good.
Boom.
That's good.
That's a good one.
I got a good one too. I retweeted this earlier, but what's the white people Wakanda?
I saw that tweet, so I'm not gonna ruin it.
Patagonia.
I saw it with a different answer. It said Terabitha.
Terabitha? That doesn't sound like anything I know.
Terabithia.
Oh, Terabithia. That's funny.
That place. Damn, now I gotta have a joke too. Oh my gosh.
I love.
You've got to keep.
I love Twitter algorithm, honestly, because it's like you'll see so many different things.
Twitter is dope.
I think it's better than Instagram,
fun.
honestly. Instagram is just there's too much fakeness.
Everyone's rich. Everyone's a baller.
We get it, right? It's like, yeah, good.
All these chicks got real bodies.
Anytime I go on my feed, on all of my feed is always either people who make those comedy videos that either aren't funny or just really stupid, or just models who are like, look at my latest pic because they look at my body, or bikinis. And it's just like, none of this is realistic.
I really can't wait until Twitter gets randomly shut down and everyone's poor all of a sudden.
What? I know. Where am I gonna get my news from? Because I literally get. Oh,
you said Twitter. You meant Instagram.
Oh, Instagram.
Oh, yeah.
Instagram gets randomly shut down.
Yeah, but Instagram gets shut down.
How's that gonna happen with Facebook? That's not gonna happen.
I don't know.
Mark Zuckerberg is making sure that both of them are staying alive. He's
well, Instagram's the only thing keeping Facebook alive.
I think so.
Yeah.
And people forget that Instagram's owned by Facebook.
Yeah, they do. And keep posting those pictures.
Yeah. We're still getting that information.
You're
only worried about Facebook, but we said nothing about Instagram.
Nothing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I couldn't find a joke, so I guess that's the joke. Well, someone said the kids from... What's those kids from... These kids? From Kids Next Door?
Oh, the Kids Next Door. The Delightful Children from Down the Lane.
Yes, them. They said...
The Delightful Children
This person said, I'm sorry, but this is how
Lane.
Republican teenagers look.
Wow.
And they aren't wrong. And then someone was like, the guy in the helmet, he's like the brainwashed black athlete.
Oh.
And that got me.
Oh, man.
That's messed up. Don't bring the Delightful Children from Down the Lane here.
So that's my joke from Twitter.
You know what's funny about that show? I watched the whole first season, and I forgot how important they placed like birthday cake into the storyline. Like, oh my god, this is the greatest cake ever, because the reasoning for it makes sense, because it's like, it's your birthday, so obviously you're gonna ball out, and this family's rich, so obviously the cake is gonna be bomb.
Yeah.
And it's like they steal it every year, but it's just like the concept is so funny to me. It's like, as a kid I thought that was so, it's like, oh, sugar cake, but then as an adult you're like, that was actually really smart. It's like, it makes sense. So shouts out to Codename Kids Next Door, because fuck yeah.
Shouts out to my aunt down in Georgia, because you make the best cake ever.
I love cupcakes more than cake, I think.
Yeah.
It's all the same.
It's all the same. It's just
just
the
bite-sized
quantity
cake.
makes you like it more because there's less of it.
Less.
It's a weird psychology thing, but I
Psych.
love cupcakes too. Almost more than cake, but I love cake too a lot.
Hey, honestly,
You heard it here first.
I know, right? guys? Cake.
Buttercream
go
icing
get some.
only. If you liked whipped cream, you're probably a criminal. Sorry.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Whipped cream on pumpkin pie? Well, that's different. Pie is different.
Pie is
yeah,
different
yeah,
from
pie is
cake.
different than cake. That's a whole debate for another time.
Buttercream all day.
Buttercream.
Gang, buttercream gang. What? You know what it is.
I like other desserts. I'm like a creme brulee type of guy though. I'm like,
Oh, get your creme brulee.
get your creme brulee. It's so good. It's so good.
We
It's like a
ended on
fancy
this,
dessert.
you
But it's so good. It's so good.
You all fancy.
I'm like, I love creme brulee. It's so
I'm
good.
like,
I like Peruvian desserts. Have you guys ever had any?
Oh, what's that?
Oh my god, Peruvian desserts.
Yeah.
They make very. The thing about Peruvian food is just it's so vast and so different. Like nobody else is doing
So
what they're
what's the
doing.
number one dessert?
Oh, that's very hard because there's a lot. I mean, what's it called? I think it's called masamora, I want to say, but it's very, very good. And it's very different. You get that and you mix it with some arroz con leche. Ooh, and then you can get some. There's a lot. My aunt used to run a dessert shop. Oh my goodness, we would go there every freaking day while we would visit in Peru. That's one of the things I miss about Peru. I think just like the food and the atmosphere. So when you get to enjoy it, it's really nice. I think Peruvian culture is always fun. But anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in on this episode. You guys gave us a couple ratings online. I noticed we have like 6 5-star ratings, and I was happy. I was like, good. I was like, I appreciate that. We said to please, rate us and review, so people are responding. So I appreciate that. That's always nice.
Continue. Tell us what you want, what you want to talk about.
If you guys want to talk about,
I'll come
more
in and talk
darker
and leave.
things, we can. We can talk about more pop culture. We can talk about whatever you guys are interested in. We'll definitely cover a lot of different things. We have some interesting guests coming up in our slate, and I think you guys are really going to like what they're saying and what they're talking about, and I think this conversation is going to be fun.
It's going to be real tight.
Yeah. So
Carpe diem.
And follow us on Instagram, Clear the Haze.
Twitter, Clear the Haze Pod.
Clear the Haze Pod. And
Sorry. Can I just plug one thing real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm partaking in an art show on the
you are.
22nd of June.
Hey.
So it's at this small little cute gallery. I think it's a gallery. It's called De Plume. So it's DE and then space PLUME, De Plume. So if you want to come by, whatever, come through. I have a photo wall installation that I just finished designing.
Is it free?
It's a free. It's free to come in, and then you can it's like the Lost Art Show. It's like you pay a certain amount, and then it's all you can drink.
How's the cannabis atmosphere? Is it
it's
free?
420 friendly.
420 friendly.
It's
friendly.
LA, bro. What the hell?
Well, you always gotta tell people because people might listen and be like,
and it's
"Well, is it
good
420
vibes.
friendly?" And then you don't know how to reach out to people. They don't know how to reach out. We
Just
get an email.
come get it.
Yeah, just
come hang out.
It'll be fun.
It's
It's
good
Art Ho Part 2.
vibes. It's Art Ho Part. I lovingly call it Art Ho Part 2. I'm gonna be selling some stickers that say Art Ho 2. So if you wanna get my first batch of stickers,
nice.
First batch of merch, we out here.
First batch.
It's gonna be taking place June 22nd at De Plume from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's gonna be music. It's gonna be
great
lit. Vibes. It's gonna be other artists just doing dope shit. It's gonna be live tattooing.
DJs.
It's
DJs.
I don't know who's DJing,
But
but you can
it'll be
go
a good
to
time.
Peace Upon a Pound. Let me just double check that because that's
Peace Upon a Pound.
My homegirl Stephanie, shouts out to you. It's Peace Upon a Pound. Peace Upon a Pound is the Instagram page, and you can get more information about that. We're gonna be out here, it's gonna be real dope.
Yeah, trying to make sure y'all summers are lit.
Yeah, it's gonna be
we
lit
lit.
summer 18.
Tour coming soon. Holla at us.
Yeah, we'll let you know if we have any other events and parties happening in LA because we want to make sure that LA crowd is having fun.
Oh yeah.
We're from LA, so we want to make sure you guys are having a good time out here just as much as we are. So we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
Yeah, man. And remember, castigare dendo mores.
Huh?
It's Latin. Look it up. We'll talk about it in the next episode.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh.
Leave them with a little intrigue. I like
Don't
it.
leave
All
me
right.
hanging.
See you guys next time.
Stay mysterious.
Clear the haze.
Peace.
Bye.